Hello, hello. This is Orion, Escalus, Celestial Wanderer, and AstraLog Member number 1. Yes, it's me. Oh, man. All right, a little bit of background, right? So I was in Japan for like 2.5 weeks or so, something like that. And I was doing good. I was doing great. And literally on the plane ride back home, I caught like the flu or something. Nothing particularly serious. It was just a cold I was able to get over in a few days. But this thing tends to happen when I am like sick for any period of time, is that I'll get like a secondary sort of thing. Like if I have a cold or something where I'm coughing a lot, I will keep coughing for like maybe up to a month later, even after I like get over it. So man, the moment I switched screens, I just felt like the biggest cough coming on. So I apologize in advance for any coughing or whatever. Hey guys, it's good to see you again. Hey Sele, hey Quest Wizard. Right, so, man, I've been away a while. I think the last time I streamed was actually like from Japan directly at my normal-ish time. I think it was 8 p.m. or something, 7 or 8. I don't know, but the internet was actually I don't think it was an internet issue. It was I think it was mostly just my laptop not being strong enough, really. It's good to see you guys are doing well though. Right, so I'm just kind of gonna recap my trip. Oh my god, serious. Actually, just what have I missed? What have I missed? A bunch of games have come out that I wanted to play for a really long time. Sele, holy crap, you are like on that grind. You like I've never seen like someone this good at like streaming PR. Like it's and like you haven't even debuted yet. It's insane. No, I think I got like, I don't know, something like 40 followers or something just after you like mentioned me once. It's kind of nuts. I'm so, oh my gosh, everyone mark your calendars for the future, I guess. Well, Twitter followers are different than Twitch followers for sure, but I just was surprised that I kind of didn't do anything. I did nothing at all for like 4 weeks, and bam, I'm like, oh wow, there sure are a lot of people, but it's all good. Yeah, no, I'm so excited for Sele's debut. Hey Aya, welcome in. I'm pretty much just going to be recounting my experiences in Japan, and I think I have, gosh, you know what? When I rigged up this scene right here that I'm using to sort of chat with, it still had the "I'm back from Japan" message from the last time, from like literally in the spring, back when I did that chat with Uma. 1 pork bun, man, I could definitely go for one of those right about now. Yeah, but let's talk about the trip itself. I'm probably gonna like retrace my steps quite a lot from what I mentioned in the previous stream, the one that I did from Japan directly. But I just had this weird sort of thing set up where, like, in order to get time off to do stuff, you kind of need to set it up in advance. And even though I did everything right, there's always something that'll happen to kind of pull it back. You know when you have higher ups who are like, oh yeah, you could totally go on a journey, go on vacation, do stuff like that, and then they were like, oh, you're actually going to be gone 3 weeks? Oh, we can't have that. And I had to like just do my normal responsibilities for a few days from Japan. So there were a few days where I think 3 days in total where I was still on like my normal time zone in Japan, and it was like dark outside when I woke up and blah blah blah, and me being excited to be in Japan and stuff, I was like, I could sleep, I could stay on my schedule, or I can wake up really early or stay up really late so I can hang out with people and do cool stuff and eat food like normally in Japan. So I got like no sleep, next to no sleep the first few days. But yeah, I was able to get my work done, and I was able to just enjoy Japan, I guess. Yeah, let's see. I have rigged up a thingy. I should be able to put images up on the screen. Oh. Yeah, and like pretty much when I travel, I specifically will take pictures of all of my food. Like that's how I remember stuff. Like the group of people I was traveling with taught me a new phrase, which I really like. It's stupid, but I really like it. And that's feeding the camera. Like every time, hey author, oh my gosh, it's been weeks. It's been weeks. Yeah, feeding the camera. So many times people will take pictures and be like, oh, it's going on the gram. Oh, I'm gonna put it up on Snapchat or something. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah. So someone was like, oh, what platform are you posting it on? Instagram? And I'm like, oh, studying for an exam in 45 minutes. Good luck. Good luck. You can always watch the VOD. Don't worry. Don't worry. My VOD will always be on YouTube. Anyway, like every time I took a picture, someone would be like, oh, feeding the camera. You're gonna post it on Instagram? I'm like, no. I don't really post that much. Hey, RGB Squid, welcome in. Yeah, I don't post a lot of my food pictures at all to social media, unless it's like something very specific. Oh my god, it's like a proper reunion in here. Well, welcome one and all, I guess. Sele's hanging out here, and if you just want to hear about what happened during my trip to Japan, definitely hang around. Yeah. Oh gosh, what interesting pictures do I have to show? Oh man, because like a lot of, okay, so like the first thing that I did that was like beyond my sleep schedule, I guess I need to explain the group of people I hung out with. Yeah, so when I went in the spring, I went with a guy who was like a really good sort of like guide for beginners. Like he just goes to Japan like pretty frequently, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, and he knows a fair amount of Japanese, can communicate with the locals and figure out things to do, things to eat. And when I was traveling with him, it was really active, like day after day after day after day. It's like, we're gonna do this today, we're gonna go see that today, we're gonna go to this part of the city, we're gonna go buy that today, and bam bam bam, we had this really well put together schedule. But this time I traveled with a group of people led by another really good friend of mine who has been around a fair amount, but has been to Japan a fair amount, but definitely had a more laid back attitude when it came to exploration or going to do things. Yeah, we kind of just like made up the schedule as we went every morning. And if there was someone in the group that had something they wanted to do or had a reservation for like a cafe, we would go with them and kind of just make up our schedule along the way. I ended up shopping a lot more than I did previously. I bought a bunch of plastic model kits. I think 12 or 13 kits in total. I ended up buying another suitcase to put them in, but man, Uva Arktos. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you. Yeah, but man, just so many, like I got like pretty much everything I was looking for and more, because we just went to so many stores, and I got the schedules for schedules and stores and stuff down pretty well. And I definitely moved around more independently this time. Like if the group wanted to go do something that I wasn't interested in, like a lot of them were the kind of people that liked playing trading card games. Like they had like Japanese decks for the games they played, so like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or Wii Cross or whatever. They had decks and they knew how to communicate enough that they'd be able to just go to like the local scene, and almost every single day when the full group was together, they'd spend like half of the day going to hit up card shops and like trading cards and playing against other people. And I was like, I don't really do that quite as much. I do like play card games, I guess, on like a very casual level, but not to the extent where I can play against like locals in a completely different setting. So I went and saw bits of the city I never really went to see. And man, I have to say this, like actually navigating myself around, Google Maps in Tokyo has an absolutely cracked like subway navigation system. Like, it tells you, like, literally where to stand in, like, somehow there's like an algorithm or something that figures out how congested different subway cars are on like different lines, and it's like, oh, get in the car number 4 on this line, it's the least congested and it's closest to the exit. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, no, it's really good. Let me say that I used this same system in other cities, not in Japan, and it did not work quite as well. Your mileage will vary, but in Tokyo and the surrounding areas, it is really, really, really good. And it's really good at getting you around fast too. But yeah, it's, oh man, public transportation. I love trains. I love trains. I'm now a train themed vtuber. No, I'm not. But it's something Star Rail, but no. Yeah, no, I just had to get myself around a lot more, and I saw some cool stuff, and man, the fact that you can get pretty much anywhere at all with like 200, 300 yen, it's just so good. Yeah, but another thing about this group I traveled with, I honestly should have put more effort into preparations, because I kind of just was like, you know what, this is I'm just going to go with whatever the group wants to do, and if they do something I don't want to do, I'll go do my own. And I feel that I could have, I don't know, I'm not saying it's waste of time, but I did spend a lot of time in like used anime goods stores, like looking for rare items and model kits and stuff, and I actually did not spend as much this time around, because model kits are big and they filled up my suitcase really fast. So like 12 model kits completely, oh my gosh. You want to talk about trains? Oh, I love the public transit system in Tokyo. If I had to pick my favorite line, it would probably be the Tokyo Metro. They got the keyboardist, I think, from the Japanese jazz fusion band Cassiopeia to make the jingles that play when you like stop at different stations. Every single station has, at least on the Metro line, has a different sort of like jazzy 6-second jingle that plays. And oh, it's just so good. And I saw an interview where the guy was like, oh yeah, I wanted this to evoke this particular feeling, I want that to evoke this kind of feeling, and he's like ridden every single train line in existence in Japan for fun. And I'm like, jazz train, yes. Oh my gosh, I kind of want to do a stream if I can find, I talked about doing this in the spring, but if I can find like audio files of all of the like jazzy train jingles for the Tokyo Metro, I will do like a tier list. they're all going to be S tier or above, but maybe different divisions of S tier. But like, it's just so cool because you go into a station and you just hear like the song of that station. And I guess it's useful too, because there was like one time I was actually like falling asleep on the train. I ran myself really ragged, and then I heard like my home station's jingle, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta wake up, I gotta go. Yeah, but oh man, I love trains. I wish trains were more common from in the area that I am. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna pencil that in. If I could find, like, there are enough railway enthusiasts that I bet some version of the jingle is like, all of the jingles are probably available online. I'll listen to like all 70 something of them for every metro station in Tokyo, and we'll make a tier list. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't have called myself a railway enthusiast to begin with, but then I just spent time riding trains, and I'm like, this is so cool. Oh man, I tweeted about this a few weeks ago, but I have so much respect for people that ride subways and like don't hold on to anything and kind of just roll with it. Like, I saw a guy just standing there, hands in his pockets, and I'm like, oh man, anime protagonist kind of guy. And then later on, that exact same day, I saw a dude playing like Pikmin 4. He was like in the game, but he was just standing there. And this was I believe a line called Tokyo Teleport. I don't know if it's affiliated with any of like the big rail companies. Yeah, something to note is like different train lines are actually maintained by different companies, and they all just kind of agreed to play nice with one another for the benefit of people getting around. It's probably because the CEOs and the people running the company need to like switch trains and ride on other lines to get to where they need to go. So they're like, you know what? It'll be nicer for everyone if we just sort of like make all of the train lines play nicely with one another. But Tokyo Teleport is kind of like was this Tokyo Teleport? I don't remember. I think it was like this elevated train line that connected the main area of Tokyo with Odaiba. I will have to fact check that. I could be completely wrong, but I think it's called Tokyo Teleport. I don't think it's a monorail, but it is like an elevated train line that goes from like the big area to like the small commercial island nearby, Odaiba. Actually, am I calling Odaiba small? It's not small. Odaiba's pretty big too. But this was not like a super smooth line. But like, again, this dude just playing Pikmin. And I'm like, my God, that's crazy. Right. One final quirk I should talk about my friend is he travels really cheaply. He does not really. I think the way he described his mentality is for getting hotels and stuff is that if you're going to be in an interesting place and you're not going to be in the hotel like 90% of the time and you're just using it to sleep, his philosophy is that it doesn't need to be very good. And if you are willing to get not very good hotels, you can get really, really, really cheap hotel rooms. And I learned the hard way that that may not always be the best choice. Because honestly, like when I was being like ferried around Japan by my other friend in the spring, they picked like this really, like, it wasn't that expensive. It was like about what you would expect from like a, like an averagely priced hotel, but, it wasn't super cheap, wasn't super expensive. And it was decently close to like one of the main stations. Like it was like one stop away from like one of the main stations. Hey, Rasim. Yeah, it was like one stop away from one of the main stations and was about maybe, I don't know, like maybe 100 meters away from a train station. It was extremely convenient. Hold on, I'm just gonna catch up on what happened in the chat. It's cool to hear about Japan just existing since my mother's Japanese. Haven't gotten to experience it. Oh, well, hopefully you can make a trip there one day. Hey, Shibatan. Good to see you again. I am back. Yeah, so basically, some of the hotels I stayed at... Okay, so the first hotel I stayed at was, like, pretty normal business hotel. And as... Oh, is it a little loud? Sorry. Hold on a second. I copied things over. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I copied things over because I had to remember how to stream again. All right. Hopefully that's a good balance. Anyhow, the first hotel I stayed at was like pretty averagely priced. It wasn't bad. It was a business hotel, and it had like standard like hotel room amenities that you probably could think of, and it had its problems, but like I think it was like 40 USD a night or something, 40 or 50, and I was there for like 9 days, and it was pretty good. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, there was a hotel I stayed at that was $12 a night. $12. The rooms were like, I believe the room it was in was like a 2 tatami room. Tatamis are like those woven bamboo mat kind of things that you see used as like flooring in some Japanese homes. And they were using them as like, I don't know, you can refer to the sizes of rooms and rental accommodations by how many tatamis they are. So like, I think it was like a 2.5 tatami room or something. It was tiny, 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 tiny. It did not have its own like in-room bathroom, and it did not have its own in-room shower either. At least this particular one had air conditioning. But gosh, I like went to use the bathroom on like my first night there, and I just see cockroaches. Like I like open the door to the bathroom and there's like a scuttling noise and 2 cockroaches come out of like a toilet tissue roll. Like the like cardboard inner tube thingy. And I was like, okay, I'm walking to the station if I need to use the bathroom. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. And like my vocabulary is not good enough to be able to tell the matron like, hey, toilet tissue rolls got some creepy crawlies. You can mute ads now for some reason. Well, sounds like a good thing to do. Oh, welcome to the stream though. Yeah, so yeah, there was another hotel I stayed at that was a little nicer, I'd say, but it did not have air conditioning. And I don't do very well. Oh, really? Muting the ads just replaces the audio with stream audio. Oh, not bad at all. Good, because there's not a whole lot visually to see. This is kind of weird because I usually have to remember to keep like the game in focus, but I don't have to. But yeah, okay, I'll get there though. This hotel was $15 a night. It had like shared shower rooms and shared bathrooms, but it was like pretty clean. It was very clean. I believe it was a 3 tatami room or something like that, but no air conditioning. They gave me a little like oscillating fan, and that's all I had. But I'll get there. The first thing oh yeah, let's throw a picture up on the screen actually. Let me see. Do I have a picture of the hotel room I stayed at? Let's see. Any reflections here? Not really. Okay. This was the first hotel room I stayed at. Let me see if this works. I'm stuck on BBC tangent because I have pages from CFAX. Huh. Right. Let's see if this works. All right, ready? Hey, that is like the first hotel room I stayed in. Do you see how tiny it is? Do you see how small it is? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's like a full-size bed, and that's like the full width of the room. It wasn't bad, but like, this hotel is known to like cut corners when it comes to things. Actually, like, it wasn't poorly maintained, but they do, how do I put it? There's like a slot in the front of the room. Like, once you enter the room, there's a slot that you put your key card into. And until the key card goes into the room has no electricity at all. Other than like a tiny mini fridge. It's like the only socket that keeps electricity. I left like a laptop powered on and plugged in, and I left, and when I came back, the laptop was dead. I thought it would charge when I was away, but not only do none of the sockets work, there's no air conditioning. There's actually no air conditioning. And if you're not, well, I mean, the laptop was fine. I was able to plug it in, but I just thought, oh, I'll charge. I think I was actually charging the laptop in preparation for me to stream from Japan. And the reason I was late was because I needed to let it cook for a little longer. And I was like, oh, I'll go out and get lunch or something, and whatever. Yeah, but if you don't run the air conditioning when it's like that hot and humid, yeah, it was the hottest and humidest I've like ever experienced in my life. Like unbearably hot, like incredibly high humidity, and I'm just like, oh, it's so hot. But when the humidity and the heat is that high and you don't air condition, if you don't have really good moisture control or ventilation, it will start, like, condensation will start to form, and it is awful. It is terrible, because when I was away for like an hour, I came back and there was like a layer of water on everything, including the TV. And I'm like, how often do they have to like replace these TVs? Like, it was like a 4K 40-inch TV or something that was bolted to the wall. Yeah, it was moist. At one point, I like took the clothes I was going to wear the next day out and like hung it up. And when I came back from the day, it was like damp. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Anyway, the first thing I do, actually, hold on a second. Something kind of neat, though. Something kind of neat. Let me put up another picture. Is they will actually like, hold on, keep canvas size. Any reflections? Not we good. They like fold a little crane to like put on the like headboard of the bed next to the alarm clock. And I was like, oh, that's hospitable, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty cute. Let's see. Right, I'm just scrolling through pictures on my other monitor. Let's see. How's this? Oh, it's like facing the wrong way. Right. So the first meal I had in Japan was actually, let me see if I can throw that up on the screen. My first meal was Wendy's. There was a Wendy's like relatively close to the like hotel. Oh gosh. All right, hold on. I need to explain another thing about cheap hotels, right? The price of a hotel not only is proportional to like how good its amenities are, but also how far away it is from stations, like train stations. Because I let my friend pick all of our hotels, we had like a 20-minute walk in the sweltering heat just to get to like the nearest train station. Both ways. Not 20 there and back. No. 20 there, 20 back. My personal takeaway is it's probably good to splurge slightly on getting a hotel that's closer to stations, just because you're going to need to like get on just get on the train to get anywhere. But yeah, my first meal was a Wendy's. I had bolognese pasta. No, I had the carbonara. I had a teriyaki burger, a fries, and like bubble tea, like actually pretty good bubble tea. Yeah, no, like that's apparently what Wendy's first kitchen serves. Yeah, they have like like several pasta dishes, and you can get different seasonings on your fries. Like there's garlic butter, there's like a maple sugar butter you got on your fries. It's good. It's good. All right, let's see. Oh, let's see. Yeah, no, I kind of just spent a lot of those first early days kind of going around Akiba, I think. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. So the first day, I think that I was no, I was not free this day. I specifically got up like stupid early for my current time zone to be able to hang out with people and do this thing. But one of the people in the group had reservations for the Grand Blue Fantasy Kitchen Collaboration Cafe. It's like a semi-permanent installation in Akiba, where you can, like, Grand Blue Fantasy is celebrating like many anniversaries or something. It's been around a long time, but it was like a collab cafe that had like just thematic food, and they were selling goods and stuff, and you got like a playing card with one of the characters on it. And I think there was like a full set of 52. So if you had like 52 drinks with your friends, you would get 52 cards. I think it was gacha though, so you probably wouldn't get like a balanced amount. But man, it was super thematic. Like if you like ordered a coffee drink or something and you wanted like sugar, it was in like a treasure chest kind of thing. Grand Blue Fantasy is a long-running gacha game that's just, I believe, the flagship game of Cygames. They are known for like Uma Musume and Grand Blue Fantasy. They also made Dragalia as like a partnership with Nintendo. But like the second proper meal I had in Japan was a collaboration cafe curry. Apparently, there's like an in-game currency that looks like a gold bar, and they're like, oh, we're gonna make this seasoned rice into the shape of a gold bar. It's like wrapped in rice paper, and they gave like this pretty okay beef curry next to it. But like, man, it was quite expensive for how much food they gave you. They did not give you very much food. Yeah. Let's see. I also got this interesting drink. Let me see if I can post it up. Apparently they're all like thematically based on different characters, but man, I don't play Grand Blue. I have no idea what this was, but gosh, all of the drinks were just loaded with ice. You had like 3 sips in each one. I had to like immediately go to like a vending machine to get like a bottle of water right afterwards. Yeah, so we kind of just kept walking around and exploring Akiba, I was like super like I needed to sleep, but I was like, no sleep. We're gonna keep going. And we went to a like a chain restaurant kind of thing that specializes in serving yakitori skewers. These kinds of things. I think I can make that larger. Hold on. Ta-da! It's like this grilled chicken, I guess, on skewers. It was really good. It's really good, and I think we had it several times. Oh yeah, I need to explain another quirk of this one friend of mine, right? They're not an adventurous eater, like, at all. They're the kind of person that would go to, like, I don't know, like, imagine in your mind's eye a family going to like a fancy restaurant, and then the one person just orders chicken tenders. He's like that kind of person, and pretty much if he found something that he liked, he would be like, oh, if we're going to go out and eat, we should eat that. So we ate at Yoshinoya like 7 days consecutively. Yoshinoya being a well, no, so like I actually so Sele, so like going to Japan, having Wendy's, I actually really like trying out like the different countries' versions of like common kind of like food places. There was a Taco Bell. I didn't eat there. A different one of my friends was like, oh, I definitely got to go to Taco Bell, and I'll talk about that later. It's another story. Hello though. Welcome to the stream. Just talking about my Japan trip. Oh, let's see. So I don't know, just scene setting, I guess. This is kind of like what the area I was staying in looked like. The streets had like these big, like, just highway elevated road kind of things over the normal street. Oh yeah, it was a fantastic trip. Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, like, they definitely have different options, but sometimes I do like seeing what the like classic items are, and like what they taste like in other countries, because they are like prepared differently as well. But yeah, just I think the area I was in was called Roppongi. It's known for being a pretty fancy schmancy kind of area. But oh man, I need to talk now about the first major event that I was there to do. So there was a 2-day event in the first weekend that I went called Comiket, which is short for Comic Market. If you know anything about it, assuming that you don't know anything about it, it is the big, oh gosh, how do you explain it? If you know what an artist's alley is, imagine an artist's alley that has like 130,000 people running around looking at items. If you don't know what an artist's alley is, it's just like a big actual market where just, I think thousands of artists, like of all kinds, are just like peddling like fan art, essentially fan art, or like their OCs, or like, right. So the term used to describe it is dojin, or like dojin work. It has a bit of a strange connotation in English, given the fact that it's used to refer pretty heavily to like an 18+ genre. But in Japan, dojin just means a fan created work, and it's very common for if you like a show or something and you want to create like a fan fiction for it, you totally can like draw a manga for it and release it and like actually sell it. Like, copyright is really weird in Japan, but yeah, this is something you can do, and artists can make like a full-time living doing this kind of thing, like either selling their original characters or fan art. Yeah, so I wanted to go kind of just like experience this thing, because it's like one of the nerd like things to do in Japan, and it happens like twice a year, and hundreds, like actually like over 100,000 people attend this event. There's just so many people, and it's held in a really cool kind of venue. Here's a picture I took walking towards it. I don't think I'm exposing anyone's identity here, but it's just, these are randos who happen to be on the train. If you look way off in the distance, you'll see this like building that's an inverted pyramid kind of thing, and it's the centerpiece of this massive event complex called Tokyo Big Sight. Maybe the building itself is called Big Sight and the complex is something else, or maybe the whole complex is called Big Sight. I don't know, but the inverted pyramid is like the centerpiece of this massive, massive sort of complex full of just all these like crazy cool kind of events. Yeah, if you've seen it in GeoGuessr, there's some really distinct buildings and sculptures around that area. Yeah, it's super cool. I actually was there in the spring when I visited, but there was like a job fair or something going on. I wasn't there for the job fair. I just wanted to see the building because it looked cool. But yeah, so I missed the first day because I crashed and actually like fell asleep for staying awake for so long. But I was like, you know what? No matter what, I'm gonna go to the second day. The thing was, because of my weird sort of like my weird like work schedule kind of thing that bled into my vacation, I wasn't actually sure if I was going to be able to like make it at all. But I woke myself up in time and was like, all right, I can go. And then I learned that within the past few years, like post-COVID, they've implemented a ticket system. You used to be able to just walk right in, like no ticket at all. But now it's kind of like a formality. Like tickets are like $2. No joke. 300 yen or 350 yen. It's not much. Oh yeah, it was extremely crowded. I think I have some crowd shots I could show later. But there's like a multi-tier sort of ticket system that you can use to get in. If you are like staffing it or are like one of the people who is helping one of the artists sell items or one of the cosplayers, just like a pretty big cosplay exhibition that occurs there. You can get in like right on open through like the like workers entrance. But for everyone else, standard people that are just going there, there's an early entry which lets you in at like 9. There is a AM entry that gets you in at 11 and a PM entry that gets you in at 1:30. When I arrived, all of the it's already nuts working an event with 30K there. Would be insane. Yeah, they were running it really, really well though. Like, man, they really knew what they were doing. But I guess that's what happens when you run an event like this for 50 years. What? It's like, this was the 102nd Comiket, and they hold 2 a year. So that's like, what, 51 years of Comiket? That's insane. They really knew what they were doing. But, yeah, pretty much when I arrived, the early access tickets were all sold out, and all the AM tickets were actually sold out. And I was kind of just standing around for like an hour, not really knowing what I could do because I couldn't really get into any of the lines to enter the complex. So I kind of just hung around, and I just was gathering information about how the PM tickets work. The PM ticket sales begin at 1 PM, I think, and 1:30 is when they let you in. However, from what I understand, the one other time they did PM ticket sales... Hey, Merc, good to see you again. Yeah, I'm just talking about my Comiket adventure. There's a lot to talk about, but man, I kind of was thinking to myself, oh, this one's going to be a bit of a short stream, but man, I'm just talking. I'll get back to gaming in the coming days, but there's just a lot to recount about my trip. Basically, I looked at the time, and if I stuck around, I think it was like noon, around noon, when I had to make a decision. Was I going to wait around and try getting into the PM line, which is notorious for being really long, like hours in line. Like the whole place closes at like 4 or 5. So if you're spending several hours in line, starting at like 1 PM, you're gonna like not have very much time to like walk around and just shop or talk to artists and stuff. So I had to make a decision. PM tickets are sold on site starting at 1. Or I was actually informed that Animate, Tora no Ana, and Melon Books, which are 3 like super otaku kind of stores in Akiba, also had physical tickets, and that they were not expected to sell out. So I was kind of just thinking to myself, okay, do I ride the 1.5-hour ride from Tokyo Big Sight all the way to Akiba to try my luck getting one of the tickets? Like it would be 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. Do I try going for one of the tickets, or do I stick around and try getting an early spot in line? And I was like, you know what? Trains. I love trains. I put my faith in trains. So I got back onto the subway that I was just on and rode all the way back to Akiba. which is 45 minutes away. And I went to Animate, which is like the anime store in Akiba. And there was a sign on the door in like 5 languages that said, sorry, day of tickets for Comiket sold out. And I'm like, what? The official website said that they don't expect any of the external stores to sell out. So here I am, 45 minutes away, definitely not going to get like a good spot in line if I rode back now. Wondering, oh man, what do I do? My options were Toranoana, which is like, what kind of store is Toranoana? Is it like a bookstore? I think it's like a nerd bookstore or something. That's located in Ikebukuro, which was like another 45 minutes away. And I was like, Ikebukuro is farther away. I could technically go there and get a ticket, but I also remembered, oh wait, there's a Melon Books here in Akiba, and Melon Books is a store that specializes in selling these doujin works. And yeah, it's like this this basement level floor, like store, like at a basement level, and it's big, but it's divided in 2. Half of it is like all ages, and half of it is like, yeah, we're not even putting paper over the covers of the books. You're just going to see a lot of boobs. And that's the side where the cash registers are, and also like where the line snakes around. And I was like, oh boy. So I waited in like the tittiest line I've ever waited in, because it just went up and down these aisles. It was packed with people up and down these aisles of just the most 18 plus books imaginable. That, yeah, they were loud and they were proud. And oh yeah, no, if you need to go to sleep, don't worry about it. The VOD's always going to be here. Thanks for stopping in. But I get to the cash register and I'm like, hey, do you have any day of tickets for Comiket? In the like best Japanese I could. And the guy just says, that'll be 350 yen. And I'm like, yes, yes. It was worth it. It was for something. Do I have a picture of the ticket? I think I have a picture of the ticket. Wait, no. That is my credit card is right behind it, so I can't. But it was a pink wristband with like a code on it, and it said day 2. And I rode the train back to Comiket and I got in right as the doors were opening for PM. And man, oh, I could not have gotten luckier. But I took some pictures from. I took some interesting pictures when I was riding in the Tokyo Teleport. Let me see. This bridge. I'm not gonna show my credit card on screen. No way. Yeah, but when I was riding Tokyo Teleport, that was the Rainbow Bridge. It's like the main bridge into Odaiba, which is like a separate little commercial island. It's like a massive commercial center. Think of any anime you've ever watched where there's like a man-made island or something that's like full of magic and technology. Man, that's just Odaiba, okay? That's literally just Odaiba. I think like K Project did that. What, Railgun Index had that, like Academy City. The floating city from like Strike the Blood. Oh man, it's just Odaiba. You can't fool me. Yeah. I also got a picture of the actually, hold on a second. Let me get a better picture, better screenshot. All right. So there is something in this picture that's kind of neat. What is it? I am going to zoom in. When I was riding that Tokyo Teleport, way off in the distance, you can see the giant Gundam statue outside of Diver City, which is like one of the super big malls in Odaiba. Odaiba's a massive commercial center. I don't know how much residential stuff is actually there. Yeah, but it was the Unicorn Gundam. It was the one I got up close and personal to when I was there in the spring. But blah, 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 whatever. Rode past it. Got a much better picture of Tokyo Big Sight, the inverted pyramids. Whoop. There it is. It's big. I was a little disappointed to learn that like the event doesn't actually take place inside of it. There's like these massive like ground level warehouses. Like this picture is actually taken from like a second story. The complex itself is like a ground level kind of thing, and this is, I'm sure it's used in events, but like I don't actually know what's in it. It definitely was not where the event was being held though. Like nothing public was being held there. I got a nice picture walking underneath right as I was walking in. There we go. Tokyo Big Sight. It's pretty big. Ta-da. Yeah. Super cool architecture though. Let's see if I can find a good picture of Comiket itself. Okay, here is what the sort of like ground level atrium was for the warehouse. That warehouse kind of exhibition hall. Lots of people, but it was so orderly. It was so incredibly orderly. Like, man, everyone knew where to go, and like there wasn't that much congestion. And this was the selling area. This was the selling area in general. Just people, wall to wall to wall with people. But man, so many people, an unbelievable amount of people. And it's just every artist was selling, and oh man, very, very cool stuff. In terms of artists that I went to see, there weren't like something that you kind of do when you go to Comiket that I did not do because I wasn't even sure if I was going to be here. Or I didn't know if I was going to make it with my weird work situation, is you make like a wish list. Like you could print out, they actually give you like really large aspect ratio. Like it's the kind of dimension, like legal sized paper is like the really long kind of paper. They provide you with maps of what all the table numbers are going to be for the entire thing, for the entire convention area. And you make like a wish list of all the artists that you want to go visit, and you plot your course through the entire map. And I didn't do this because I was bad, and I was like, oh, I'll just wing it. Oh, big mistake. Oh, actually it wasn't that big a mistake because I kind of just meandered around looking at stuff, but there were a few artists I actually was able to stop by and buy stuff from. Like it's a bit of a tangent, but I'm a big fan of Toho's Megane merchandise. It's called Toho Megane, and many Toho characters actually have glasses that are like commercially produced, and you can get like real prescription like lenses installed in them, and they're like casual enough that anyone can wear them. Like literally there's pictures going around of like Japanese Congress members wearing like Toho glasses, and they don't even know what Toho is. They're just like, oh, these glasses look nice. And basically the head designer for them is an artist called Lunade Luna, and they conceptualized Toho Megane. They got signed by Zune, I'd imagine, and his company. And yeah, like not only do they draw characters wearing glasses, they also do like technical like CAD style drawings of like what the glasses would look like in a like a mechanical engineering program, so that they can actually be machined and created. And I bought like the latest book, and I just waved at him and was like, I'm a big fan. I'm like, my vocabulary is too limited. It is too limited to be able to tell him how amazing it actually was that this guy designs glasses like that. But it was cool. I got to wave to him, and yeah, I just meandered around and took a look at stuff, and gosh, there's like an entire section just selling CDs. There was an area selling like model train custom parts. There was like incredibly like 18 plus kind of stuff just out in the open. There were like 18 plus cosplayers to match, I guess. Like not like 18 plus probably isn't the right word. Like they were still covered up, but they were dressed as the characters, having stuff done to yeah, like they were dressed like the characters that they were selling 18 plus materials for. I'm like, gosh, shield your eyes shield your eyes through this part. But I walked through like the entire complex, and it was, oh my gosh, it was just, there's so much stuff. And I didn't even go to the like space based on corporate, like corporation sort of stuff. So like I I know that YoStar, I think the Arknights company was there. Several mobile game companies were there. And if you like wait in line, they'll give you like freebies and bags and stuff like that. Or fans. Oh man, speaking of fans, there was a sort of like, so every year, different companies will promote some particular thing they're trying to sell. Usually like anime companies trying to promote a new series will have attendants handing out like these plastic and paper fans that you can like manually use to like cool yourself down when you're like leaving the station. And they have like some sort of advertisement on them saying like, oh, make sure you watch this series. And or something or other, or play this game, this new gotcha game or something. This year, the fans that were, God, I almost don't want to talk about it. I kind of don't want to talk about it, but it's like an anime, like an all ages anime that probably would be shown during like one of the more mature like blocks, and it's just, it's absurd. It was the what. I'm not even sure I want to talk. I'm like laughing about this, but I'm not even sure I want to talk about it because it's just like, it's so off brand. It was the one where like a dude gets kicked out of the hero's party. So he like makes a harem of the like hero party's mothers, but he's also like one of those not so nice people. So it's not a harem, it's like a hypnosis harem. It's bad. It's real bad. When I saw, like, I've heard whispers about this show, and I'm like, yikes, that is a weird premise, and who would buy this, right? I heard whispers on the wind, and when I was handed the fan, I looked at it and I started reading the name of the show. And it hit me like a truck, and I'm like, oh god, I can't just hand this fan back to them. Yeah, like the name of the show was like Yusha no Mama Harem or something. Oh god, it was awful. So what I did was I sat down on like a park bench. Yeah, this area of Odaiba actually had park benches, which is kind of rare. Like seating, outdoor seating in Japan, kind of uncommon. But there was a park bench in this area, and I put the fan down next to me, and I pretended to look at my phone, and I slowly started inching away until I was like 2 or 3 seats over. And then a generic Japanese businessman guy who was like, what the heck is going on here, was walking by, saw the fan, he picked it up, and he nodded, and he started fanning himself and walked away. I'm like, oh, okay, I got rid of the fan. It's not my fan anymore. Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, I still have like residual cough, but I'm like not sick anymore. It's just annoying. Pardon me. Yeah, but that's how I got rid of the fan. But like, then I was like, man, I wish I had a fan, but like anything not to have to use that fan. Man, that was awful. Awful. Let's see. Let me show some. Yeah, so basically I walked around Comic Cat. I actually randomly bumped into the group that I was traveling with, and they're like, Orion, what the heck are you doing here? I'm like, I finally made it in. And they're like, man, we didn't think you'd make it in with not having like an AM ticket, but lucky me, I did manage to get in. Let's see. That night for dinner, I actually think every other person who was in the group decided to just go to bed, like right after finishing the Comic Cat stuff. They were just like, yeah, we've been here since like 9 or like 7 or something, and they did day 1 as well. Like that was day 2 that I went for, and they're like, nah, I'm tired. No dinner, just sleep. And I'm like, man. So I went for my first Yoshinoya, of the trip. Yoshinoya serves gyudon bowls, and man, they serve it fast and they serve it well. And I think the meal was like $4. It's so cheap. Eating in Japan is like so economical, and converting USD into yen is super economical. And I had like, oh wait, I have a picture of the wristband after I took it off. Yeah, I had a, here we go. I had a Coolish for dessert, and yeah, and there's that pink wristband after it was torn off. Coolish is an ice, like a half liquid ice cream shake kind of mixture in a bag, and you kind of like just suck the ice cream out of the top. It's good. It's really good. And there's like different flavors every season. I think the summer season flavor was honey pineapple or something. It was pretty good. Yeah, so I went, yeah, for breakfast the next day. My friend who was leading the trip was like, oh man, I can't believe I missed Yoshinoya. So I had Yoshinoya again. I would post a picture, but it was the same meal, except I had like a spoonful of curry put into the gyudon. It was really good. Let's see. It started like pouring rain. I think something about August, it's like rainy season, and it could just rain really hard with like no warning. An embarrassing thing I have to admit too is I bought an umbrella like the first day I was there and was like, okay, good. I will not be caught in the rain at all. But then I would leave the umbrella behind thinking like, oh, the weather's really nice today. The forecast says it's going to be clear all day. And then it starts raining. But umbrellas are like insanely cheap. They're like ludicrously cheap in Japan. I like 400 yen or less. Like I think the most expensive umbrella I bought was the most expensive umbrella I bought. I can say this because I bought 5 umbrellas over the course of me being in Japan. Every time I got caught in the rain, I just bought another one because it's 300 yen. It's 350 yen. It's like 250 US, which is absurdly cheap for an umbrella, and they're like weirdly well made. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. I had several people follow me a little while ago. Thank you, Just Talk to Me. Thank you, Gemo Bomboq. Thank you so much for the follows though. Oh my gosh, normally I would have a panel open that tells me when people are following, but I have like my pictures open on the other other monitor. Sorry, I'll be more mindful of that. But thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate it. But yeah, I bought a lot of umbrellas. And I don't know. I guess when they're that cheap, it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, I think, yeah, here's a picture of getting caught in the rain outside of like an architectural museum or something. Yeah, this was like on the way back from Yoshinoya that morning. Well, I mean, the problem is I can't take the umbrellas back with me when I traveled because they would fill a carry-on slot. Oh man, I wish I had an umbrella for every outfit. But yeah, they would like occupy a carry-on slot. So unfortunately, I was not able to bring them back. Yeah. And at one point, like when I was riding the train, I passed like a handful of umbrellas to one of the other people we were traveling with, and they accidentally like left it on the train. And I'm like, oh man. So I lost 3 umbrellas at once. But at one point I was actually holding 3 umbrellas with me so I can toss it to the people in the group if it started raining. Yeah, it was the Sen-Oku Hakukokan Museum in Tokyo. It was relatively close to a Yoshinoya. Yeah, let's see. Opinions on chocolate mint ice cream. I had the opportunity to buy like chocolate mint ice cream in Japan, and it's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, let's see. I went and I ate the doner kebab, like the Turkish doner kebab that was being served in Akiba. Believe it or not, there's like a as authentic as possible like kebab place like you'd find in Europe or Turkey that was run by like actual Turkish people from what I understand, and it's like right on the Akiba main street, and it's making it they're doing good business there. And my friend who was leading the trip lived in Europe for a bit, and kebab is like one of his favorite foods of all time, and he was like, it's a 7 out of 10 kebab, but considering that the best kebab you can get around where we are is like 4 out of 10, that's like pretty darn good. Yeah, it was really tasty, and it was like the only spicy, like really spicy thing I had the entire time I was in Japan. I think that whenever something is labeled as spicy in Japan, it's going to be like, I don't know, hot mild, but not really higher than that. Like maybe medium. Yeah, like there were some things that were like, warning, super spicy thing, and I just ate it and was like, oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, but that was probably the spiciest thing I ate. I tried all kinds of energy drinks. I already had amassed like a crazy amount of model kits at this point. I bought some Nessa berries too. Haha. Let's see. So at this hotel room, so this is like that business hotel that was like medium price. There was, every time you turned on the power in the room by putting the card in the slot, it would turn on the TV, and the TV had like, it was divided into sections, and I believe there'd be like the Wi-Fi, like that day's Wi-Fi password, like on the left, there would be like a TV guide and like maybe like the restaurant menu for the hotel on like the left and the upper right. But on the bottom right would just be a channel that would just be playing like advertisements that were like aimed at people in hotels. So they were like, oh, try this food, try that. The absolute weirdest ad I saw was an ad that was like, how do you describe it? Like, does anyone remember that meme where it was like a person on Facebook was like, I will destroy terrorism or something. And everyone's like, ah, that Linda, she'll destroy terrorism. For some reason, they're like, we need your will to eradicate terrorism. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? You know? What do you want me to do? I don't know. But, yeah. Apparently I'm like a terrorism fighter now. I don't know. I stayed at that hotel. But it's just like the actress that did that scene was just so incredibly like matter of fact about it. I'm like, is this a kind of chuny? Is this like adult chuny? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I had 4 model kits and a few plushies at this point. I went to a Denny's. One of those nights, actually. Denny's is known in North America, or the US at least, I think, as a place you never really intend on going, but you just end up, because they serve different stuff than a lot of other places, and they're open, at least they were open 24 hours. And it's kind of a joke, I guess. Like, they're not really well known for like the highest caliber of quality. But in Japan, oh my gosh, there's an entire industry of like Western style family dining and what they think Western style family dining is like. I got this for my dinner. Let me see. Is that a good picture? Yeah. That is like a Japanese braised Salisbury steak with vegetables and rice. This is what they think Western cuisine is, I think, like culturally. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And there was like an all you can drink like soda bar too. Not bad. Not bad overall. The meal was okay. And it was really cheap. Oh my gosh, I think it was also like 400 yen. But yeah. Let's see. We rode back that day. I had let's see. I think this next day, yeah, I woke up pretty early and I was like talking to my friend who like wanted to eat at Yoshinoya every day. I'm like, hey, let's just do something different. Let's eat at Sukiya, which is another gyudon sort of place. That's, I think the rice and the beef is a little lower quality at Sukiya, but they offer a lot more variety in terms of how it could be prepared. I think I'll show a picture of that in a second, but like, remember what I said about how like it's 15 minutes away from every station? Yeah. So on our 15-minute walk to this, like, so this time when we were like, okay, we want to go to Sukiya, the Sukiya happened to be next to a station. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just use that station today. The walk to go to that station was actually really cool. It brought us down some side streets and we found like, let me see how well this comes out. I'll zoom in a bit. This is like someone's backyard. You hear of like urban holdouts, right? Where people own like prime property or something for like real estate development or whatever in the middle of the city, but they just refuse to sell it. So this person was growing a bamboo forest in their backyard, essentially. I think it was like a tea shop or something, or like a very traditional sort of like something, either a tea shop or a bakery. I don't know, like a manju bakery. I don't know. Very cool though. Yeah, like an actual miniature jungle, and it was like very well kept. Let's see. This was the lunch I got at Sukiya. I think there's actually a reflection here. Let me blur that out. Give me a second. Oh wait, did I put my damn credit card on the thing again? I did. I don't know why I keep leaving my credit card out in the open. All right. Let's blur that. Effects, blurs, Gaussian blur. All right. I keep leaving my credit card out. Okay. Anyway, this was the lunch I had at Sukiya. It is a beef bowl actually, but it's covered in like garlic sprouts, roast garlic, and like the same sort of seasonings that would actually go into kimchi. It was really, really good. It was really good. Yeah, like beef is definitely lower quality than Yoshinoya, but like they have the edge when it comes to variety. Sukiya's pretty good. Sukiya's pretty nice. Let's see. Yeah, I think we went to Nakano Broadway at this point. I've talked about it before, but the best way to describe it is it's like if you went to a traditional Western mall from the 90s that was like a little run down, but it refused to close. And it's also 4 stories tall and has like a labyrinth of hallways that just shoot off in random directions that have their own like stores at the end of them too. There are like just so many, like I'm never really super comfortable taking pictures inside stores in Japan because I know some of them are like super against that kind of thing. But I'll do my best to explain it. But there are like different like used goods stores that sell just like used anime stuff, I guess. And Mandarake is the name of a really big one. In Akiba, they have like a 10-story tower that every single floor is just like a different theme. So like, oh, this floor is all like action figures. This floor is all books. This floor is all like CDs or like used games and that kind of stuff. But in this like Nakano Broadway, actually, do I have a good picture of the outside of it? I guess I do. Let's see. Yeah, so Nakano Broadway being like this mall kind of thing isn't super tall, but it has like a lot of places stores can go into. Ooh, wait. It's actually a nice big picture. This is like a covered market, like leading the way into it. But Mandarake has a location in Nakano Broadway, but rather than it being one big store where everything's connected, they have like 20 or 25 little storefronts inside like this outlet mall. It's crazy because like it's like, oh, this outlet is specifically for like gotcha keychain kind of things, or just like blind box kind of goods, or oh, this is all like animation cells, oh, these are all model kits, oh, these are all henshin devices from Kamen Riders, oh, these are all like transformation devices from Precure, or oh, this is all like books, this is all records, and this is all like vintage car models, this is all American like tabletop game books that were translated and released in the 80s, like Dungeons and Dragons, like the stuff that led to like Lotus War, stuff like that. Yeah, thank you for stopping in. Definitely get some rest. Yeah, but yeah, no, just crazy stuff and really, really cool spot in general. I ate at a KFC. I ate at a Japanese KFC on the way out. I had the warning, super, super spicy breaded chicken drumstick, and it was even weaker than a lot of the like spicy sort of things you find in the West. What else? Let's see. I went to Harajuku on my own to pick up some collaboration goods. It's a super long story, but I've been collecting a series of collaboration goods done with the city of Harajuku, and have had like a chain of acquaintances visiting Japan over like the year that I've been able to ask, hey, can you pick up that item for me that's currently on sale? And I was able to get the final 2 items, that collaboration myself. So not bad, not bad. But yeah, Harajuku, I think that was a night that the group was like playing card games and was like, I'm not here to play card games. I ate at a conveyor belt sushi place called Sushiro. Man, it's like I guess it's like a lost cultural artifact, but fewer and fewer conveyor belt sushi places are actually doing conveyor belt sushi in like the classic style, where there's like a wide variety of them kind of just sitting on the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt instead at this particular one had little advertisements for different flavors of, or just different varieties of sushi. And a second conveyor belt above it would actually deliver your sushi made to order to you. So definitely less fun than just looking at something weird and being like, "Oh, I want to eat that." I have no idea what that is. But yeah, it was pretty all right. Do I have a picture of that? It was decently expensive too, for only being like a pretty budget, for being a quote unquote budget sushi place. It was not the cheapest actually. Like some of the plates were like 300 something yen. So like if you got a particular sushi, you might be out like $2 or $3 per. Let's see. See, we met up with somebody that one of the people in the group knew that day, and we had Donburi. From what I understand, Donburi is any reflections in this one? I actually think it's clear. Yeah. Donburi is, to the best of my knowledge, it's like Korean barbecue seasoned like meat over rice. And it's been like adopted by, I don't know, it's like a staple of like Japanese food. It was quite good. It's really good. In fact, I actually think I came back here later in the trip for like a second go. It was very delicious. Let's see. Yeah, no, this was just another Akiba day. Yeah, where we were going to see all the places that this one acquaintance had not had the chance to see. This is all like fake food. How do I describe it? A lot of restaurants in Japan will have examples of what's on their menu in the form of like this fake plastic cast kind of food. And there's like a tremendous like market for this. Like so many restaurants will just have like, oh, this is exactly the way we prepare it. And they like probably commission like masters of the art to create like replicas of their actual menu. And we went to one such place that was selling them. Yes. This was a sign that I happened to see inside that building. It was like a pretty tall building, but you had to take like escalators. But I guess they had enough problems with people trying to find Starbucks on the top floor that they literally put up a sign that just said "Not Starbucks." Yeah, there was like some independent coffee shop on the top floor or something. What happened now? Oh yeah, we went out to like do karaoke at like an actual karaoke parlor, which is a first for me. And it was really cool. There's a bunch of songs that just aren't available. Like, it's not hard to like rig up a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation 4 to kind of like just connect. Like Joy Sound is an app that you can do like karaoke on as long as you could type with the Japanese keyboard. There's a fair amount of ways you can do karaoke outside of Japan, but a lot of songs are actually locked behind exclusivity to the parlors themselves. So we had a pretty large party. We got a largish karaoke parlor room with like a really nice sound system in it. And we just sang for like 2 hours, and we had like an all you can drink, like soft drink kind of deal. So we'd like punch in songs into like this iPad. And also there was like a menu you could access to like order food and drink that was like part of our ticket entry price. It was pretty good. I don't think I got very good pictures of it, unfortunately, but man, people were saying I was like okay at singing, so I'm like, I really need to get over myself and just do some recording and stuff, because I do want to put out more music related stuff. Yeah, I ordered like a bunch of different kinds of soda, like melon soda, like 3 different flavors of like Calpis, like the Calpis yogurt drink. Let's see. I think the final night in that area of Tokyo before I moved on, I had convenience store, like equivalent of like convenience store bento. I had like let's see, is this a good picture? Yeah, that's good enough. I had an okonomiyaki, a dessert sandwich, and like a CC lemon drink. And I actually mustered the courage to ask the person working at the convenience store to like heat it up, which is something that they can do. Like a lot of times in convenience stores, when you order refrigerated food, you could actually ask them, hey, can you throw this in the microwave for me? Because not everywhere has a microwave, I guess, especially not our hotel rooms, that's for sure. And I actually found the right words and was like, can you heat it up? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, good. Oh, good. I did not misspeak. I actually used the right vocabulary for that. Atatamete, I think, is the request form of that particular word. Tatameru? Is that? I have no idea. Yeah. If anything, the trip taught me that I need to get serious about brushing up on my Japanese skills. I have a degree. I can't let it go to waste. Yeah, anyhow, I ate that. It was pretty good. I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, I kind of want to do something. So I went down to like this convenience store in the lobby of the hotel. Actually, there was like a convenience store kind of place where you pick things off of the shelf and scan them and like tap a credit card or something and would actually buy them. I bought a thing of kitsune udon. I think it's called kitsune udon. Am I getting my noodle types mixed up? But I opened it up and it had 2 big pieces of tofu, like dried tofu curd in there. And it was like seasoned with like soy sauce. It was really, really good. But it's the first time I'd actually had it prepared this way. Like you just open the top and there were these 2 dehydrated things inside and you poured in, like, actually every room did not have a microwave but had a hot water kettle. So you could like fill it with water and boil it and either make tea or coffee or instant ramen from the convenience store on the first floor. It's pretty cool. Oh, I'm gonna fly through things. At this point, I took the bullet train to Osaka. Oh man, I actually have a picture of my hotel room. Let's see. You want to talk about tiny rooms, right? Gosh, this is yeah, I guess it was a 3 tatami room. There's my second hotel room. This was $15 a night. $15 a night. You see that? You see that little fan in the corner? That little fan? I'd be dead if not for that fan. No air conditioning in this room. None. It was really hot. Really tiny, really hot. But yeah, the thing is it's not the size of the room that really bothers me. It's just the fact that like shared shower facilities, I don't know, it kind of icks me out if I have to like step on wet tile that someone else has just taken a shower on, you know? But it was cheap. I spent very little. Yeah. Yeah, it did what I needed it to do. Yeah, so Osaka. I was in Osaka. How do I describe Osaka? The first thing I noticed about Osaka is how incredibly smoky it is. Apparently a lot of people smoke cigarettes, like so much so that the city actually smells like cigarette smoke, and it does. Like I literally stepped out of the train station and there was just a wall of people like just sitting in a park smoking, and I'm like, what the heck? Apparently like Tokyo was like this too, or used to be like this, until they were prepping for the Olympics and they banned it in a lot of places, but not in Osaka. So fingers crossed they hold the Olympics in Osaka someday, so they can ban it there too. But actually the hotel I stayed at here was not very far from the station, but unfortunately the place I wanted to get to, the sort of like center of activity in Osaka I wanted to get to is called Nipponbashi, and unfortunately it wasn't really effective to take a train there because you'd need to ride to like a hub and then ride back to that area or something. I don't know. It's just, it would be a really roundabout way to take the train. So like walking was definitely more efficient, but it was like a 20-25 minute walk to get to the center of activity. And Nihonbashi, for lack of a better word, is Osaka's Akiba. There's big, like, used anime goods stores there. There's a lot of like card shops. There's a lot of like just nerd and otaku kind of centric activities and stuff you could do in the area. And of course, there was a Yoshinoya that my friend was like, we need to eat there every day. I'm like, you know what? It's okay, because I actually really like gyudon, but man, I definitely ate there like probably disproportionately, like way more than my previous trip, that's for sure. Though something kind of cool is there was a district relatively close by that I walked through a few times called Shinsekai, and they had like these trendy retro futuristic looking like Tomorrowland looking sort of like Torii Gate kind of things marking the entrance, and it's like a cultural center, classical cultural center. There's like a lot of arcades, a lot of bars, just a lot of things you can do if you are a person, I guess. Like just a lot of street food. It was like the best comparison I can make to it was like a night market that was like during the day, and it was just like, it is always like open and always bustling, and there's like a lot of historical significance. Apparently that area is like watched over by the patron deity of It Is What It Is. It's really interesting because like there's like a deity that is just like, yeah, whatever, and that like describes the place. There was a steak place just called Suddenly Steak, and I'm like, I like that. I was slightly outside of Shinsekai, but oh yeah, that's right. I got to visit, speaking of like those Toho glasses from earlier, I actually got to, is there a reflection in that? I don't think so. I actually got to take a picture outside of the iMirror like Osaka headquarters. This is where anime glasses get made, and like, or perhaps they're not manufactured there, but if you need to be fitted for glasses or want to buy anime themed glasses or subtle anime themed glasses, you can get lenses fitted into them. You can put like a real prescription in them too. It's kind of neat. All right. Let's see. I ate at a restaurant called Caesarea, which is, I believe, a Western dining experience, which, why do I keep leaving my credit card out in these pictures? A Western dining experience based on Italian cuisine. Here, I'm just gonna zoom it really weirdly. There we go. Like, some people in the group had pizza, some had pasta. I didn't know what this was, so I just ordered it because it looked interesting, and it turned out to be some kind of like risotto. I think the one on the left was like a shrimp risotto, and the one on the right is like a cheese and meat sauce kind of risotto with rice. Definitely not authentic Italian cuisine by any means, but it was an Italian themed family restaurant. And it also had all you can drink soda fountains as well, though I think the sort of distributions of like the soda syrup are not right here. Hey Pomely, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I am talking about my experience traveling to Japan, which I recently came back from, but it's mostly just been me talking about food. Let's see. Yeah, so I was in Osaka. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so one of the main reasons we were in Osaka was my friend who was leading the expedition. Let's see, is this a picture I can use? I think it's a picture I can use. Yeah, was meeting an acquaintance that he had talked with before online and had like very good rapport with. But I think they'd met a few times in person, but like, it's like a thing that every time he goes to Japan, he hangs out with this guy, and he, as an Osaka native, knows the good food. And I was able to tag along, and we went to a ramen place. Actually, yeah, I believe that's the actual the name of the restaurant on the chopstick wrap. But this was a ramen that was so thick Like the broth was so thick, they handed it to you with the spoon sticking out of it like that. It was more solid than it was a liquid, and it was delicious. I'm not even sure how I would describe the taste. Oh man, my mouth is watering just thinking about it, but it was so good, and I ate it so fast. And man, my ability to understand Japanese is not super great, but I did catch, like, oh my god, he sure ate that really fast from our guest, or we were his guests from our host, I guess, and I was like, oh man, sugoku oishii, like super good. Yeah, oh, it was delicious. But the thing was, it filled me up so much. I skipped 2 meals. I actually skipped 2 meals because of how filling it was. Like, this we had for dinner. I did not have breakfast or lunch the next day. Actually insane. I didn't get to, because I was full, I didn't order okonomiyaki when I was there. I missed Osaka okonomiyaki, which means I guess I gotta go back, right? Gotta go back. Brave the cigarette smoke. I'll definitely stay at a hotel that has air conditioning this time though. Yeah, but the next morning I kind of walked around Shinsekai a bit, and I don't know, it just has like, it feels like a festival is always going on in this area. It was bustling. And like a lot of the storefronts had just really cool facades like that. One of the highlights of Shinsekai though is, I believe, I don't know the name. I don't know the actual name of the structure. Osaka Tower? Like, it's this big tower in Osaka that, I guess you got a good view of the city. We didn't actually go there because any tower in Japan that you go up to like get a good view costs a lot of money to go up. So we kind of just looked at it from a distance. We're like, oh, neat. But like, basically I started the day a little later than the rest of the group, and my friend was like, oh, I'll go on without you. We're headed in the direction of the tower. And I kind of just meandered into there, and I found them like right away. And they're like, how do you keep finding us right away? And I'm like, haha. Not a wanderer for nothing, right? Let's see. We ate, I think we went to Yoshinoya. I didn't actually eat at Yoshinoya, but I did get a bag of these like treats that were filled with, did they actually have, oh man, I don't remember. I don't think they had filling in them, but they were like these pastry like kind of treats with the likeness of the guardian deity of the area, Bidiken or something. He is like the patron god of like, sometimes it just be like it is, to put it lightly. And he's just like, yep, whatever happens, enjoy life, have fun. And he watches over Shinsekai apparently. Cool dude. Let's see. I also had ice cream. Yeah, maybe that's why I wasn't hungry either, because I had like a nice triple ice cream kind of thing of the like 3 flavors of the area. Strawberry. Let's see. Can I get a good picture of this without doxing? I probably can't, unfortunately, but they're like milk flavored ice cream, not vanilla flavored ice cream, milk flavored ice cream, which is definitely its own flavor in Japan. Matcha flavor and strawberry flavor. It was very, very good. And I got it in like a triple cone. Good stuff. Yup, ate at Yoshinoya. One of the people we were traveling with came in with a box of donuts from Mr. Donut or something. Let's see. Can I? Yeah, I guess it's just the worker at the restaurant, but we also went, yeah, you know what? I know why I skipped 2 meals. I snacked like a demon when I was in Osaka. That's right. Just had so many snacks. But another snack we had literally later on in the street, like the moment we went down to Nipponbashi, there was like a place selling takoyaki, and someone in the group was like, oh man, I haven't had Osaka takoyaki yet. You want to split one? Because we just had a bunch of snacks. And he was like, yeah, I'll get like a serving and we'll split it, which is like 6 or 8 sort of takoyaki balls. I think it's 8. Yeah, it's like a plate of 8 of them. And this like trainee guy kind of made our takoyaki. I actually think he undercooked it a bit. It was a little like doughy and not like fully cooked, I think, but it was still good. Still good. Yeah, but he had one of those badges that was like, I'm new to the job kind of thing. How does it's like a chevron or something. It's like yellow on one side, green on the other. Generally, it's used in Japan to represent someone who's like new to something. So like a trainee driver might have a bumper sticker, or someone who's like learning the ropes at a restaurant, or a server. Yeah, that one. Does it have a name? Hold on, I'm gonna hover that. I don't know. It's not giving me anything, but that one, that symbol for sure. Yeah, but I think the guy was still getting used to it. But it was good to have takoyaki. Ooh, that's right. Oh man, it's a long conversation, and it is slightly off brand, but Japanese symbol for beginner. Okay, nice. Right. Do I explain maids in Japan? Because here's a sriracha machine, a sriracha vending machine. There's like a global sriracha shortage or something. It's crazy, but like a lot of brands are like stepping up. Like Tong Ot Sriracha is like the classic brand. A lot of other ones are stepping up, and there is a dedicated sriracha vending machine made in the USA. Oh wow, interesting. They're reaching out across the world. Do I explain maid culture in Japan? There is a long rant I can go about this, because I have an idea that could potentially revolutionize maids in Japan forever, but like it's kind of off-brand. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so in Akiba and in Nipponbashi, and I'd imagine other nerdy areas. Oh, I mean, do I need to explain? No, I'm not gonna wear a maid dress. Shut up. No. No. But yes, I have an idea to revolutionize the maid industry in Japan. Oh man, how do I explain this? Oh, I'll do it if you do it. I don't want that. I don't want to bring that on you either. I don't want it to happen to me. Oh, how do I describe it? Okay, so it looks bad. It looks, if you have never seen it before, it looks weird for sure. I'm not talking about the maid dress, but I'm talking about the maids. At all times of the day, there will, in like the nerdy areas, the otaku areas of Japan, you will pretty frequently see maids, like essentially like advertising at the sides of the street, trying to hand out flyers to tell you to go back to their maid cafe with them, and like you can be their gochujin sama kind of thing, right? And the idea is, if you see a maid that you like or whatever, you can strike up a conversation and take them back to their cafe. 99% of the time, there's actually no shady stuff going on. That's just how maid cafes operate. Oh, how do I explain this? It's so strange, but like, it's something of an industry, right? There's like corpo maids, and there's like indie maids. Man, it sounds like I'm talking about VTubers, right? But there are corpo maids that are like maids that have been recognized for their talent or their looks or whatever. And maybe a big maid company will like pick them up. And these maid companies are generally large enough that they don't need to advertise. There's like At Home, there is Maid Dreamin', there is My First Maid, there is Maid Guild. I guess so. Yeah, it is kind of similar to idols, but if you are picked up by one of these companies, you don't have to work the streets trying to convince sweaty nerds to come back to your cafe, because people will come to your cafe without advertising. And generally, I suppose you need to like cut your teeth working independently for a bit and becoming known in the industry. Heck, I don't know, maybe there's like maid talent recruiters or talent search people, I don't know, but if you can make it into one of these companies, you're kind of set, right? But that means everyone else has to fight super hard for attention. And there are lots of cafes, and there's like maid cafes, there's concept cafes, which are kind of like hostess bar kind of things, where you kind of just talk with the maid, and I guess they kind of role play. Oh my God, are VTubers concept streamers? Oh my God. but pretty much in Nipponbashi and in Akiba at all times of the day, pretty much, and especially later in the evening, there will just be maids for days, just trying to hand out flyers telling you to come back. And they're all like, I don't know, like when in the spring, when it was cold outside, I was like, man, these maids look cold. But then here they are wearing the exact same outfits in the sweltering heat. And I'm like, man, these maids are probably overheating, and they have like water bottles and fans, and oh my God, it looks like they're suffering. And so I can kind of understand someone taking pity on them, and like, I don't know, but how much of that pity is like a show? Like, I don't know, like they look meek and are like, oh, Gochujin-sama, save me from the harsh elements and take me back to my cafe, kind of thing. And you can kind of like liberate them from the elements, I guess. But it makes me think, right? Like, what if maids took a different approach? What if instead of like acting meek, like we live in an era where like Makima Chainsaw Man and Kafka Star, like Honkai Star Rail are like really big and really popular, right? Where are the assertive maids? Where are the maids that will look at someone and be like, you, come to my cafe, you don't have a choice? Is that legal? Can maids do that? Can you get like quote unquote dommy mommy maids? See? Can we get dommy mommy maids to like revolutionize the industry? Where is my in? How do I become a maid manager? Like, how can I like tell maids to be like, okay, your concept is like a person that clip it, I dare you. No. It is not my cup of tea at all. 100% not my cup of tea. But like, where are the maids that do this? And it got me thinking, if they don't exist, this could potentially, like, we're in an era where like assertive characters are like gaining traction. So where are the assertive maids, right? And then it got me thinking, maybe there are assertive maids and you just don't see them on the streets because they have successfully found a target and brought them back to their cafe, right? Like, the reason they're not handing out pamphlets is because they won. And it just intrigues me. I'm like, can you shake up the Japanese maid industry with assertive maids? Long story short, with the sriracha machine, there were some maids standing in front of it, and I told them to move because I wanted a picture of the machine. That's the reason for the entire story. Yeah. All right, let's see. Had dinner at another ramen place. It was not as good as the other place for sure, but it was still really good. It was like more of like a Chinese style, I think. I had like a pork broth one, definitely a much thinner broth. I'll post a picture of it. Get a load of this foreigner. Hey, I wanted a picture of the sriracha. That's why I'm here. I did not get a sriracha though. They were like 1,000 yen a bottle. It's quite a lot. Yeah, but more ramen, more Osaka ramen. Man, I really wanted okonomiyaki, but one of the things that my friend does not like to eat is vegetables. And okonomiyaki is like 80% cabbage. And they do not like cabbage. Yeah. So the next day, I wandered around Shin Osaka Station, which is like one of the big Osaka train stations, trying to figure out how to buy a bullet train. Yeah, for sure. Let's eat plenty of veggies. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to buy a bullet train ticket to get back because we were not spending that much time in Osaka. Because it was really just to like meet up with that guy and check out Nipponbashi. And I think some of the card shops there. There was like some major like Grand Prix going on for one of the games. Not super familiar. But turns out that like you can't use credit cards to buy like bullet train tickets in most stations. And I didn't have a means of withdrawing cash. My friend did, but I did not. So I kind of just wandered the station waiting for my friend to show up. And man, talk about like amazing like plastic food advertising a place. In Shinosaka Station, there was a place called like an entire basement level just called like Culinary Street in English. And they had like really fancy looking restaurants that were all like glassed in and had their own doors, and yeah, and it all smelled really, really, really good. And they had like all kinds of cuisine, but I just thought it was cool that they had a larger than life plate of spaghetti, because normally the plastic food you eat, or the plastic food you see is a lot smaller. It's like to scale. But blah, 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 whatever. My friend shows up eventually. And we buy the tickets after taking some money out from the bullet train sort of like ticket dispensing kind of things. Oh, something to note is a typhoon went through and they actually canceled an entire day's worth of bullet train tickets, meaning that the next day they were stuffing like twice the capacity of people onto the like bullet train, so like standing room only. It was insane. And that was our ride there. The ride back was significantly more leisurely. But before we departed, I actually had some McDonald's. And it's like McDonald's, right? It's a bit of a meme, but the way they prepared stuff was like very different. Like their menu was pretty different. So I guess like a summer food, gotta get them there one way or another. Yeah, no, so my understanding was they canceled all the trains, and well, that one day, and they canceled like half the trains and stuffed like 2 trains in so that there was like less time between each train. But at the same time, like there still was like more people riding the train than what they normally handled. So yeah, standing room only. But like a bit of a trend, I guess, like a trendy kind of food. Yeah. So this was taken from the McDonald's summer menu. What's on the left is like a McBiscuit kind of thing, or like a McGriddle, or whatever they called the like English McMuffin. It was a McMuffin that had a Hawaiian pineapple sauce on the a quote unquote Hawaiian style pineapple sauce on the sausage patty, and it was interesting. The flavor was a bit too strong. It was really salty. It's really salty. But like several burger joints in Japan were celebrating the summer with these Hawaiian style flavors, and it's pretty much this Hawaiian barbecue sauce that they slathered on everything. And the summer pie, like you can get like these pie based strudels in the US with like maybe like apple or blueberry or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's like a pie strudel, right? But this was the pie strudel, but it was filled with like potato bacon soup, like really thick potato bacon soup, which is interesting. Apparently when the summer menu ended, they switched over to like a red bean and butter sort of pie, like a more dessert kind of pie. But it was interesting. I'm glad I tried it once, but I probably would not want it again, especially when there's so much other good food. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, we rode the train back. I have another hotel room picture, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, this was another, yeah, like I'm back in Tokyo at this point in a district that I'd never been in before. And of course it was a 15-20 minute walk from the station, but this was the hotel room. Tiny. But something you can note is in the upper right of the picture. Hold on, I have a thing for this. See that? Hold on. See that? That's an air conditioner. There was air conditioning here. Yeah, it was pretty good. However, this was the place that had the cockroaches, and something about the bedding just felt unclean. Yeah. I'm not. It was $12 a night. I can't really complain at that cost, but still. Ugh. Oh man. So actually, on the long walk over there, I passed by a few like cigarette vending machines, right? Because I think this was an area of Tokyo where more people smoke. Like there's like dedicated smoking areas, so it doesn't smell like Osaka. But I found like a Bochi the Rock like no underage smoking advertisement like attached attached to the machine. I'm just like, yeah, people under the age of 20 should not be smoking. I'm like, I don't think anyone should smoke, but you know, Butcher the Rock, don't smoke. Butcher the Rock, Butcher the Rock. Oh yeah. Okay, so I have no pictures from where I went next because I was in Chiba. I took the train to Chiba to see the Love Live Superstar Liella 4th live, day 2 of stop number 1. Like, the big reason for me coming into Japan in the first place, this particular trip, was I won a handful of concert tickets, actually. The way you get concert tickets in Japan is you apply for like a lottery, and I applied for a lottery for quote unquote 4 concerts, and I won all 4 of them. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I got to, like, I'm a pretty big Love Live fan. I really like the plushies, but Love Live Superstar is one of the more recent series. I think they're coming up on their 3rd anime season relatively soon, but it's like really good. I enjoy Love Live, but I legitimately think Love Live Superstar is like peak. It's really good. And if you don't know what Love Live is, it is a idol anime, I guess, where there are actually like people that correspond to each one of the characters who are actual idols. And the concerts, they do like concerts and stuff. And in the case of Liella, which is the group that that was performing, they're an 11. Yeah, they started as a 5-member unit, became a 9-member unit, and are now, I think they're stopping now at an 11-member unit. And they sing and they dance, and the choreographies they do are just so cool. They're really cool. I'd recommend looking up the song Second Sparkle by Liella. They have a music video up on YouTube, and man, it's just really cool seeing that many people like doing like a choreographed dance that's that incredibly well coordinated. They're like, I'd say it's kind of like synchronized swimming in a way, in the sense that like all of their emotions are just like perfectly in sync, but like it's not swimming, it's like singing and dancing on a stage, and they're like singing their hearts out at the same time. So it was really fun to be at that concert. I feel like I could talk about like concert culture a lot, but there's definitely going to be more opportunities too, because I did go to another really big concert. Yep, we had Yoshinoya afterward, of course, because I was with my friend. The other half of the traveling party had, well, actually the other part of the traveling party, the majority of them had actually departed, and we were going to meet up with a new set of friends over the next set of days that were coming for like a different leg of the journey. So we were merging with like another group who was just arriving. Yeah, lots of walking around. Let's see. I'll throw in a picture. Throw in a picture of a thing I'll talk about later. It's kind of reflecty though. I'll be fine. I'll put like a slight blur over that. Distort, pixelate. Can I pixelate that? Oh, now it just looks weird. Oh well, I'm putting it up on screen. All right, so these are pen lights. They're like, the best way I can describe them is if you've ever been on a plane or you've like seen someone working on a runway, they will have like just glowing sort of like electronic light stick kind of things that they wave around and are like, hey, let's guide the planes. But yeah, exactly. There's actually like major companies that produce them, and they're called pen lights. And you kind of just like can wave them to the beat when performances are happening, but there are some pretty cool advanced routines you could do when particular songs come on, and yeah, it's pretty cool, and they add like a lot of energy to concerts. You see them a lot in like Japanese idol and otaku style concerts, not so much in rock concerts, but I don't know, it feels like an extension of a classic Japanese cheerleading art actually known as Owendon or Owen. man, how do I describe that? Pretty much at like sports events or like festivals, there would be people with like elaborate like cloaks and uniforms, and they have like headbands, and they'd go like os os, and they'd like wave their hands around in like time to like a cheer for whoever they were cheering on. And this is known as Owen. And an Owen Don is like a group of people that are working together. They're like a team, like a cheerleading team, that are doing these like very, very deliberate sort of cheers. And I suppose it's adapted a bit into an art known as Wota, where people can do like these routines based on just waving pen lights around. And it's really cool, like being a part of a crowd that is like, that's just filled with energy, and they're like responding to the song. Like it's like you're participating in the performance. It's kind of neat. It's cool. We went to Yoshinoya again. Let's see. We went back to Akiba. Yeah, more time in Akiba, pretty much. A friend of mine was like, hey, Orion, when you are in Japan, you should win me this particular item, this particular series of items from like the arcades, because like there's a rotating, like a revolving door of just items you could win at arcades that are like plushies or figures or whatever. Like they're either known as like crane game prizes or something, but a lot of anime merch can only be found in this way, which is just kind of neat, I guess. But pretty much a friend of mine was like, hey, I'm looking for these 3 plushes and I will pay any cost to get them, just win them for me. Yeah, okay, one of them cost me 4,000 yen, which was, I won it from a crane game, which is not the best, but it's not the worst either. And the third one I got was also 4,000 yen. I got very lucky with both of them. 9,600 yen was how much it cost me to get the second one. It had like it was a plushie. It was like a Nesaberry plush for Needy Streamer Overdose, or Needy Streamer Overload, I think it's called. And for K-Angel, the character, the sort of like idol character in there, and she has like really elaborate hair, and it kept getting stuck in the crane game, or like in the crane claw. So like this particular crane game is based on like, do I have a picture? Let's see. I think I'll have a picture later, but yeah, the plushie that I won for my friend was this. This one cost me 4,000 yen to acquire. Yeah, there is a shrink-wrapped Nesaberry behind it, but yeah, I won this one for 4K, and this is like the non-streamer persona of the like the incognito persona of the main character of Needy Streamer. Maybe I'll play that someday. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we went back to that not Udon, that Donburi place we were at a few days ago. Oh man, I love Donburi. I'll post another picture of it just because I like it so much. Ta-da! I love Donburi. It's good. Yeah, let's see. Spent some time in Ikebukuro. Yeah. Oh, that's right! Mama Escalus actually asked me to check out a part of Tokyo known as Nippori, specifically for this place, this street called, actually, let me get a nicer picture. A street called Fabric Street, actually. Mama Escalus is a bit of a wizard, I guess, when it comes to like fabric craft stuff. And apparently she saw like some travel agent YouTuber talk about how you can get like cheap cuts of leftover fabric for like dirt cheap, like just very, very cheap cuts of leftover fabric at Nippori. But apparently people have caught on, so none of them. Yeah, no, she has great recommendations for tea and loves fabric craft. Yeah, but Nippori is known for a rich history of like sort of like fabric craft, really. Like basically my mom was like, hey, take some pictures of stuff and I'll let you know which ones I want, because she wanted to work on like dresses or quilts or stuff like that. Just really, really cool stuff in general. Yeah, and I took so many pictures. She ultimately decided, hey, I'm coming with you the next time you go to Japan because there's too many things and I want them all. Which is kind of funny, but I guess she's coming to Japan next time I go. Yeah, but there's just some really, really, really nice looking stuff. Yeah, just lots of good stuff. And yeah, it convinced her that she had to come herself. She'll probably eat a lot of Yoshinoya too. Yeah. Let's see. I think we walked around a bit. I checked out Don Quixote, which is a department store which has everything in a very, very compact space. And I found Hatsune Miku whey protein. Like the stuff you would use like as a pre-workout kind of drink. Yeah, I have no explanation for this, but apparently Hatsune Miku or Krypton Future Media is doing a collaboration with like a protein company. I don't know. I don't mix workout drinks. Let's see. I went out to a yakiniku with some friends, with one of my friends who had just arrived for his first time ever in Japan, and we goofed super hard. And basically our meal included a few pieces of Wagyu, like one piece of Wagyu for each of the three of us. And Wagyu is an incredibly high grade Japanese meat that is pretty darn fatty, but it's like so high quality. You're supposed to barely heat it up and like then just eat it, and it's like butter that melts in your mouth. We goofed. We misunderstood the waiter, and we thought that this was sirloin. So we cooked the heck out of it. And then we were like, wow, this sirloin is super tender. And I'm like, oh no, this isn't sirloin. The sirloin came next. Oh well, we cooked the heck out of some Wagyu and ate it in a way that most people don't eat it. So you know what? That's a unique experience. Actual big oof, yeah. We went to Yoshinoya again the next day. But the thing is, this particular Yoshinoya we went to actually had a weird variant of what the food was. Is that a safe picture? Yes, it is. Like a weird variant. I didn't see it in any of the other ones. It had okra and like this mashed barley and beef, kind of like grits mixture mixed in. It had a raw egg on the side and some beef on, like just standard beef and onions. It was pretty good, but it was weird. It was weird. I love going to places that have good food, but unusual food and trying it out. Like I love that. I love that so much. And I got that so many times here just because I kept ordering really weird stuff off the menus. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so my one friend who had come in that day did not pre-coordinate with us. In fact, when we asked him, hey, do you have any plans? He was like, I will figure out when we get there. So we like found some stuff that would be a good thing for like a first time goer of Japan would like enjoy. And he arrived and was like, oh, I made plans for every single day. We're like, bro, you said you didn't make plans. He said, no, I made plans. And we're like, okay. And at this point, I was getting a little fatigued. I think it's important that when you schedule vacation time, that if you're being a tourist, that you make sure that you have some time to unwind and rest. And this was going to be like my unwind day, where I just sat in air conditioning for a bit and ate food and maybe checked out like a supermarket. I love checking out like supermarkets in unfamiliar places. And no, my friend was like, I have bought us tickets for the ramen museum down in Yokohama. And I'm like, you what? So I went with him down to Yokohama, and I did not regret it actually, because he arranged for another person to arrive that I had not actually seen in like 3 years. Like and acquaintance really, but like really cool dude in general. Apparently, yeah, when I saw him, he was like studying. And like when I last saw him, he was studying, but now he like moved back in with his family in Yokohama, from what I understand. Really cool dude. And we went to the ramen museum, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a museum. Let me post some pictures. Yeah, it was like your standard museum kind of stuff. There were signs that were like, "Ah, what is ramen?" translated into 3 different languages. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." There's like a is this a safe picture? It's like, this is a traditional ramen cart that maybe someone in a park would be like selling ramen out of, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool museum. And something kind of neat was there was a, oh, I have to show this picture just because it's so silly. What are those? What are those? Nice looking fabric. This is the opposite. That's like ramen sneakers and memorabilia. Something kind of neat though was right next door, built into the like museum area, was a laboratory. A quote unquote ramen laboratory. If you used your phone to scan a QR code, it would bring you to a website that was like networked into the Wi-Fi, where you can choose like the exact like cup ramen combination. Like you pick your broth, you pick what vegetables go in it, and you pick what noodle goes into it and what kind of toppings go on, and even like what kind of like color and pattern is on the sort of like label and the cup. And the thing was you could, for 350 yen, they would make it for you. They would just say, come back in an hour and we'll make your ramen to specification. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. But I was just thinking to myself, we gotta burn an hour here. We saw everything in the museum, we saw everything in the ramen lab, and like there was actually like sciencey looking people with lab coats and goggles, like assembling people's like custom cup ramens. But I was just thinking to myself, man, we gotta wait an hour, and we like ran out of things to do in this museum. But then we noticed there's a stairway down that people keep going down, but more people are going down than are going up. And I'm like, what? Is there more to the museum? I was blown away because the staircase goes down and down and down. I think either the fourth, like basement 4 or 5, like 5 layers below the ground. Bam. Ramen City. There is a ramen city, replica city from like the Industrial Revolution era of Japan. Underground, underneath the ramen museum. It was insane. I was not expecting this at all. Yeah, and for all intents and purposes, it was a food court where each one of the businesses that was like in the facade, in this like replica, like classic city, was a visiting ramen shop from somewhere in Japan. And everything started making sense. When we first went into the museum and we presented our tickets, I noticed that for like slightly more, you actually could buy a season pass for the museum. And when I looked at the museum, I'm like, why the heck would anyone need a season pass to go here? Because it's so small. The reason you buy a season pass is several times a year, they switch out which visiting restaurants, what visiting chefs are there. And essentially, if you visit multiple times a year, you can try everything. And the really cool thing is every single restaurant, if you eat there for like 50 yen, you can buy a trading card that corresponds to that restaurant and put it inside like a book, like a card binder to keep track of like every single one that you've eaten at. It was so cool. And like, there was actually a stall specifically designed for visiting ramen chefs from other countries. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a ramen restaurant from Brooklyn, New York City, visiting there. And I'm just like, what the heck? That's insane. That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. I went from being like, oh, well, I guess I got dragged to go to the ramen museum to this was such a cool adventure. Oh man, it was so cool. I would definitely go back. Yeah. Apparently they're celebrating some 30th anniversary or something. It's like something. Let me post the picture. Like this was the commemorative like wrap on the chopsticks, like ano something mise o mo ichido or something. Like I don't know. It was good. It was good. It was delicious ramen. Like, man, there was so much good ramen on this trip. Yeah, let me post a picture of that ramen. So this particular place served like we only ate at like one of the 5 restaurants that were 5 or 6 restaurants that were actually there, but this place served it up with like chopped up like green onion and like bean sprouts with like a like I think it was just a very simple tonkatsu ramen, but it was very, very, very good. Man, I would love to go back. It is worth riding like a 40-minute train out of Tokyo towards Yokohama. There was even a vintage like Coca-Cola machine that actually dispensed like glass bottled Coke. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, and just the entire place was like set up to look like a period accurate kind of place. And the exit was through this old like repurposed bathhouse or something. It was really cool. I ended up buying these really weird, yeah, again, like I love unusual foods that taste, well, unusual and interesting foods. I love it. And I ended up buying this from the gift shop, which is a box of candy bars where instead of like a biscuit in the middle, it's ramen, like ground up ramen pieces. It was actually really good. It was really, really good. It tasted like a, I don't know, tasted like a white chocolate candy bar that had like crispy pieces in the middle. It was excellent. All right. Oh, by the way, this was my, let me rotate that. This was my custom built ramen. Hold on. Is there a reflection in that? Nope, it's good. This was my custom built ramen bowl kind of thing. I just went for like a, I don't know, that bowling alley carpet aesthetic for the top, but it was pretty cool. All right. Yeah, I'm getting close to the end, I think. Yeah, spent some more time in, yeah, we met up with another one of our friends in Shibuya. We went to Tower Records. Actually, hold on a second. Let me post a picture I took of the area around the Shibuya crossing. I took a really nice picture of the Shibuya crossing last time, so I didn't get another one here. But there's the like famous sort of like billboard area. That guy's face was just there the entire time, meaning whoever like bought that billboard bought like a continuous like just a continuous ad that ran for like an hour of just this guy's face. I have no idea what it was for, but yeah, essentially Shibuya Crossing is like the Times Square equivalent, I'd imagine. Yeah, vague smile guy. He's doing his best, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah, it had more of those sort of like yakitori skewers now that we were with our second group of traveling companions, I guess. Yeah, we met up with the second group of people that we'd be spending the next week with. Yeah, had more of that. We actually got an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink, and we did not get our money's worth, actually. Like, we ate and we ate and we ate, and we roughly calculated how much it would be cost, and we gorged ourselves on food and drink, and we're just like, man, we actually did not reach the value point for all you could eat, but it was fun that we could just eat whatever we wanted. On the long walk back to the hotel late at night, I just saw this interesting kind of like street going off into the dark. It looked kind of cool. Let's see. We went back to Nakano Broadway for a second time, but this time with our second group of traveling companions. And man, my friend was just like, I'm gonna go eat some safe food, and he was like, there's no Yoshinoya around here, I'm just gonna eat some ramen. And I had a lot of ramen recently, so I was like, I went with one of the other people in the group, and I got this really fancy like Kobe beef curry kind of thing. it was like very, very rare beef over rice with this medium spice. Like, it was sweet and spicy at the same time. It was pretty good. Again, it wasn't as spicy as the kebab I had, but still pretty good. Yeah, it was, yeah, actually, oh my God. All my streams just devolve into food discussion. I'm so hungry. All right, yep. Let's see, we kept going around. I think we went back to Akiba. I believe what's next is a picture of Elmo and Cookie Monster doing an interview with the people that are part of Yoasobi. So like Yoru ni Kakeru, Idol, and bunch of other famous songs like Tabun, whatever. They were being interviewed by Cookie Monster and Elmo. I have no idea why. I just thought it was funny. What else? Oh yeah, we found this place called like Haikata Fried Chicken or something. It was like this outdoor, like semi-outdoor kind of like street vendor kind of thing in one of the Akiba Plaza areas. And they had like Korean style chicken or something. Yeah, I got a sandwich. It was really good. It was really, really good. It was like Korean style fried chicken. I don't know. And would you believe it? The next day, actually, no. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this was a bit of a weird day because we checked out of our hotel in preparation for going to our next and final location. And we stored our bags in like this luggage storage locker kind of area. It's actually quite common to have like lockers that you could put away large items, I guess, in Japan, because so much of your travel is going to be on train. It's not like you could just leave items in your car, like big items in your car if you go on a long shopping trip. So it's convenient for tourists, and I suppose it's convenient for people that actually live in Japan. But there are these lockers that you could check out for pretty cheap and just store your items in them. You even can use like the Suica cards that you can like use to like get on the trains to activate the lockers as well. It's pretty state of the art. But we stashed our stuff here and kind of like explored Akiba for the day. But when we finished, we kind of hopped on a train and went to Saitama, actually, which was another sort of like outlying area in Tokyo. It's not in Tokyo directly, but it's one of the neighboring like big cities, I think. And yeah, we went to the other place, and of course my one friend who like would rather sleep than eat in some situations kind of just went to sleep, and I went to Yoshinoya with one of my other friends who had not eaten Yoshinoya yet. We kind of just had Yoshinoya. It was good. Oh, I love gyudon. I want gyudon right now. Actually, I'm really hungry. I may have like second dinner after stream just because I'm making myself hungry. All right. Yeah, let's see. Just Saitama was a very different kind of city aesthetic, I guess. It definitely felt less busy than, like, it was more laid back than in like the central areas of Tokyo, but I wouldn't call it suburban either. It was still very, very urban. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, to give an example of how much bigger the place we were staying at compared, yeah, no, oh man, there's like a really good hack gyudon recipe that I've kind of developed. If you have rice and ground beef and onion powder, you can kind of like hack your way to a semi-decent bowl of pseudo gyudon. Oh man, I'd love to do cooking streams. Like I said in debut that I really wanted to try for that, but I'm just not in an environment that would really let me do it that much. Like that, I love finding complex recipes and boiling them down to like be simpler so I can make them when I'm low energy or whatever. I'd love to do videos or streams about that, but oh man, my current environment just isn't the greatest for that kind of thing. To give you an idea of how much bigger the place we were staying at was. This was the room that I stayed at this Airbnb that my other friend checked out, who was like, kind of refuses to have a miserable time, I guess, or refuses to live in miserable conditions. This was my room. It was bigger than the past 2 rooms put together, probably. Maybe bigger than all 3 of the rooms I had previously put together. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was, again, like 15 or 20 minutes away from the nearest station. It was like equidistant from the 2 nearest stations. They were both like 20 minutes away, but that was okay. Yeah, but like it was honestly like a really nice accommodation, and it was next to a Lawson, so it was pretty easy to pick up food. And here is the next picture that describes where I was the next few days. For the next 3 days, I was at Anisama, which is probably the biggest like Japanese pop culture centric concert of the year. Essentially, I think it is a music festival that is 3 days, 3 consecutive days that are like 5 hours, 5.5 hours long each, where they just rapid fire, like maybe 2 or 3 songs each, famous Anisong performers from the current year or recently, or even like legendary performers from the past. We had like the G Gun, like one of the singers that provided music for G Gundam show up as like a surprise guest. We had like the original singer that performed the Japanese Pokemon opening, like not I Want to Be the Very Best, but the like Japanese version, showed up on stage and started performing like Pokemon songs, and everyone got so hyped up. There was like City Hunter, there was several Bang Dream artists that were actually really good. Angela, Masayoshi Oishi. Yeah, actually, all of the days that I was posting about like, man, Masayoshi Oishi sure is great on Twitter, that was because I was at Anisama, and man, what a mood maker he was. He's like a legendary like songwriter and singer that does a lot of really great anime songs and Anisong in general. Let's see. I did not have a very good picture of day 1, but I kind of snuck a photo. I know you're kind of not supposed to take pictures, but don't tell anyone. I'm only putting this out on the internet, right? This is a picture of the the venue as it was filling up. Apparently, it can seat 60,000 people. I think it was like 40,000 people on day 1 and day 2, and 60,000, like a full house on the last day. But man, yeah, it was big, and there was a lot of people, and man, talk about people waving pen lights around. It was really cool. That night for dinner, had Denny's again, and I had something a little different than usual. Unfortunately, the like fountain drink machines are actually broken, so I just had like water. Yeah. Day 1 was really good. I left early, actually, the next day. Saitama is close enough to Tokyo that you can like ride the train in if you catch the right line. But I like came back and I went to a katsudon restaurant with a friend that I haven't seen in years, who was also visiting for the express purpose of going to see this concert. But we met up in Akiba. I actually went to the Final Fantasy 16 collab cafe. Man, collab cafe is expensive food, and food is only okay, but that's like a running theme. But I got to see my friend again and had some katsu. Like the 3 things on the left is a piece of pork, a shrimp, and a croquette that's filled with like cheese. Yeah, it was really good. It's like a restaurant that specialized in that, and that was their special summer sampler or something. Yeah, here is another picture from day 2 of Anisama. Man, I would love to see the Blu-rays for this when it gets released, just so I can try to find it. Well, I don't think I'll ever find myself in the crowd because the cameras really only capture the first like big block of people. But yeah, it just would be cool to like see the performances again in like not a super hot and tiring kind of situation. Day 2, Day 2. Okay, so after day 2, we made our way back to Saitama, and we were like, yeah, we don't want to just go Denny's again, because a lot of places closed super, super early, and Denny's was like the only place that was open late enough, because the concert got out at like 9:30, and a lot of places close early in Japan. But pretty much, we looked at our navigation, and there was a place that was registered as a 24-hour sushi restaurant. And we were like, you know what? Let's go. It looks kind of suspicious in the sense that you kind of don't ever see 24-hour sushi restaurants. But it was listed in Google Maps, so we went there. And it was someone's apartment. It was not a sushi restaurant. My theory is that it was a vengeful ex that put their former SO's place of residence there as like a 24-hour place just to piss them off, probably. Because it definitely was not a 24-hour sushi place. It was literally someone's home, and we're like, okay. So we went back, had dinner at, when we actually got dinner at the Lawson, and I had some more coolish. I had the I found like a different flavor, found some Kirin lemon, and had, I think, some roasted corn tea. It's one of those things that I'm glad I tried, but I never want again, you know? Somehow they decided that they would roast corn and make tea out of it, like barley style, and it wasn't super great. All right. The next day, a friend, my other friend that we met up with was like, I want to specifically go to an area around Saitama known as Lake Town, which apparently has like a lake. Go figure. But it's like a pretty big hub for commercial activity, and there's like a massive like 3-part mall. Like 3 different companies made, like kind of like the railway system. 3 different companies made their own malls right next to each other, and then they agreed it would be better for everyone if they just connected them. So there's like a massive triple mall that kind of like partway goes around this lake in a commercial area near a station. And we like walked around a bit, but our main objective was to eat at the conveyor belt sushi that I really like, called Kura. Let me post a picture. Kura. The gimmick here is each plate is like 116 yen after tax, which is really cheap. And they have little like plexiglass domes over the top of every plate. So they actually do run the conveyor belt with sushi on it. And the idea is like in this post-COVID world where they're more concerned about like exposing people to bacteria, that this plexiglass dome will actually keep people's germs off the food. And I'm glad they found a solution that works, because like there's just nothing quite like being at a sushi go around and seeing actual sushi. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly like the Pokemon Stadium minigame. Honestly, these things are not called sushi go arounds. I just call them sushi go arounds because that's what I called them when I was a kid playing the like sushi go around minigame in Pokemon Stadium 1. I'm kind of aware that I'm using it incorrectly, but whatever. I like the term sushi go around. I think it's cool. But yeah, we just ate different kinds of cheap sushi, and honestly, like, I like it more than Sushiro because you're not getting good sushi at Sushiro either, but you're paying more for it at Sushiro, and I guess it's made to order. But oh man, the terrible thing is at Sushiro you would use this iPad to like order. You would use an iPad to order your stuff to order, like made to order. But the problem was every time one of your pieces of like sushi were arriving, it would actually just lock you out of what you were doing and kick you back to the main menu. Every single time it would play like an animation being like, your sushi is arriving. And then it's like, here I was 10 pages deep in their sushi menu, and here I am back at the first page. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And by the time I get back to the like 10th page, another piece of sushi arrives and it kicks me back to the main menu. And I'm like, did you have any QA testers tell you that this was a bad idea? Oh well. I like Kura. I think I had like 11 plates of sushi, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a, oh wait, no, I can get a good picture of this. We stopped at this cheesecake bakery. Here, let me reverse that. The picture's upside down, but the cake is right side up now. But we went to a cheesecake bakery that, yeah, actually, let me flip it. It just looks weird now. There you go. Yeah, I was sitting on the other side of the table. But, a cheesecake bakery that made American-style cheesecakes in the shapes of cats. Like cat faces. Which is kind of weird because Japanese-style cheesecake is not, like, thick and cream cheesy, kind of like what you would expect it to be. It's like a very, very fluffy, like bready souffle kind of thing. It's very different, but for some reason this place specialized in Western style cheesecakes. So I ate that and it was actually really, really good. Had some bubble tea. My one friend who dragged me to, yeah, I don't think I can, I'll have to blur it. My one friend, actually, you can't really tell what that is, can you? Nah, there we go. My one friend who dragged me to Yokohama to the ramen museum is like something of a bubble tea connoisseur, and he was surprised to find out that bubble tea isn't really that common in Japan, I guess, and I was kind of surprised too. I guess I don't know, like, I guess it's more of like a maybe like a China or Taiwan or Korea kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah. We found a place that actually had it. Had some pretty okay seats at day 3 of Anisama. I have a picture of our seats on this day. It was a little closer. Well, not as high off the ground, but it was further away from the stage. I think the second day seats we had were the best. They were really good. Would I go back to Anisama again? Absolutely. I will do what I can to brave the Japanese summer heat, but it definitely will be a shorter trip. If I go to Japan for a long trip again, it will probably be in a colder month. Who knows? I may go again soon because, like, I heard they announced at the end of the like Liella concert run that they're doing a fifth tour, like, in the winter. And I'm like, oh man, am I ready to go back to Japan again? We'll have to see. Anisama was super great though. So let's talk about what I had for dinner that night. This was like the second to last night. I was like the second to last full night I was in Japan. When we were looking at the Google navigation thing, the same navigation that pointed us to this fake 24-hour sushi place, there was a restaurant, an Italian restaurant that was specifically known for being like a late night place, like open late. It said on the app, it said on Google Maps. So a lot of places in Japan, even the restaurants, will close down super early if they're not specifically meant to be a late night destination. And this area of Saitama that we were in was not like very well known for late night stuff. So there's like, we're tired as heck after the concert, and we're like, do we just grab like a random dinner at Lawson and head back to the Airbnb, or do we try this Italian restaurant? We looked at it and we're like, is this listing real? Because an Italian restaurant that specifically is open until 2 a.m., what are the odds? But we decide to take a risk and go there, and we find it, and it's real. It's this tiny second floor hole in the wall, like Italian restaurant that's run by like these bartenders, and like atmospheric. The atmosphere was really unexpected. They were like playing like the top 40 hits off of like in the US off of some online radio, and there was like a full bar and like a full kitchen like stuffed into the corner, and they like had us seated, and we ordered a pretty darn good like Italian meal. It wasn't even like Japanese style Italian, it was just Italian food, and we're like, wait, this is like actually good Italian food. I had a bolognese served in like a plastic sort of like plate, but it was like a fancy atmosphere, and my friends were getting drinks, and they apparently was really good. And when we left, it was like not even that expensive for like a fine dining experience, but that's what it was. And you know what? I think I would definitely go out of my way to come back here again. Like, it actually was just like an unexpected find, but we were like, wow, actual diamond in the rough. Like a restaurant that's not only open until 2 a.m., but serves like authentic Italian food. What? Completely unexpected, but that place was awesome. That place was awesome. I would definitely go back. And I also ordered like a maple chiffon cake. Yeah, no, like actually like unexpected, amazing stuff. But yeah, there's a maple chiffon cake with like, I believe chestnut flavored whipped cream. Yeah, that was really good. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm gonna go I'm gonna make myself some food later. Yeah, but we had like one more day. We had one more day in Japan, and we just decided to spend like one more day in Akiba. I actually accidentally found a real life Steins Gate reference. A real life Steins Gate reference when I was looking for the bathroom. There is a famous kind of like otaku sort of like indoor mall, like a vertical indoor mall called Radio Kaikon. And on the top floor is supposedly where something happens. That's, I'm not going to spoil Steins Gate, but if you haven't seen it, but I'd highly recommend it. But something happens on the top floor of Radio Kaikon in that anime / visual novel. And there was a real life reference to it in a vending machine, like a piece of food based on what happens on that floor in Steins Gate. It was really unexpected. I kind of don't want to show it because it is a spoiler, but if anyone has like experiences Steins Gate and has a chance to go visit themselves, definitely check out the top floor of Radio Kaikon. There's an unexpected like real life Easter egg up there. It's cool. Yeah, but basically on this last day, I was like, I will do my best to try rescuing like the plushie that my friend, like more of those plushies that my friend wanted out of Crane Games, out of the Crane Games. And let's see, is this a good picture? Let's see, is there any reflections? I think it's safe. I think it's safe. Right, so this is a Japanese Crane game. All right, so a lot of Japanese Crane games are, rather than like you are trying to get the plushie out in one shot and get lucky, a lot of it is you need to incrementally move what you want closer to the goal. So in this particular case, I'll zoom in a bit so that it's easier to see. There are like a row of not quite parallel metal bars that the plush is sitting on. You need to take the claw and kind of like nudge the plushie over to where the space between the bars is wider, and then try using the claw to push the head of the plush through the bars so it falls into the basket down below. The issue with this is this plush is like blue and pink sort of like braids. For whatever reason, the claw was super good at getting stuck in the braids and pulling the plush up when I was trying to push it down. So I would constantly be like undoing my progress. And it actually took me 9,600 yen to get this plush. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go find like this. There are 2 plushes in this series, and my friend was like, I need them all. I'm like, okay, well, it's your money, not mine. And I kept them posted and was like, hey, I'm not super great at these, but they were like, no, I need them more than anything else. And like these plushes only just were added to machines today, like the day that I went to the Crane game. There's like a rotating prize schedule, and they only just became available, and it was like the day before I was going to leave. So a lot of times, really good like arcade players will spend a low amount of money and win. Like they have it down to a science. They can win more than the average person. They will win plushies and then sell them in the used stores. But because they had just come out, I couldn't actually find any in the used stores. And if I did, they probably would have been that much anyway, because they were brand new. So I had to win them. And God, I hate that machine. This particular machine with the bars. Do I have a good picture that does not dox? Let's see, because like these machines are pretty darn reflective. Yeah, I think this picture's safe. I actually got the plush stuck in a way that the claw couldn't actually reach. Look at that. Somehow it got jammed between the side where the claw can't reach, and I had to call a staff member over and be like, "Haskete, this thing ain't moving." And they kept fixing it for me, and eventually just put it in a way that a single tap was enough to get it. But that's okay. The next arcade I went to, I found it again and was like, hey, it's just a more standard claw machine. Hey, Vakia 1X? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome to the stream either way. Vakia. Okay. Hey, Vakia. Nice to meet you. All right. Anyhow, the final thing I did in Japan was what is known as... Wait, actually, we haven't met previously, have we? It has been a while since I've streamed. My bad if it is. Anyhow, the final thing I did in Japan was a sushi omakase, or omakase? I don't know. Basically, it's the thing where you go to a sushi restaurant and you're like personally attended to. Omakase. It must be omakase. Yeah. You're personally attended to by sushi masters who will just give you your money's worth over the course of like a 12 or 15 course meal, or just however many courses they want. The way it works is you pay a price of admission and they just feed you whatever they feel like. Generally, it's based like, actually our sushi chefs, apparently as part of their tenure, spent a significant amount of time studying abroad in the United States. So they were very, very English fluent, and apparently deal with a lot of like English only speaking customers. But we did our best to speak in Japanese, and they did their best to speak in English. It was kind of cool. But basically, a big part of their job is they have to wake up stupid early and go to fish markets and pick what fish they're going to use that day, and then bring it back and make whatever out of it. And in the case of this omakase, they just take the best things they could find from the day and serve it to you. It was kind of expensive. I think it was like 150 US. It's probably the most expensive meal I've ever had in my life, but I was like, you know what? I gotta try this. I gotta try it. And I paid the price of admission, went in, and they were like, tonight's dinner is going to be like a 15 course meal. And they started presenting just these like amazing dishes that they made. And I have never had sushi this good in my life. It was so incredibly good. I won't show pictures of everything because that would be like 15 pictures, but like the appetizer was like vegetables and grilled oyster on a giant clamshell used as a plate. It was so good. It was so good. And I was like, this is just vegetables. It tastes so good. Yeah, here's some like, I think the picture came out sideways, but hold on, I will fix it. This is like a scallop or something, like a scallop sashimi with a dash of Japanese lime and like actual wasabi, like not horseradish that's been dyed green, like actual wasabi that's been ground right in front of you. Oh man, here's like a blowtorch seared like bit of mackerel or something or something. I don't know what it was, but it was good. Everything was so good, and they just kept wheeling out plate after plate after plate of this amazing sushi, piece by piece at a time. and pretty much they drop it in front of you, and you use your fingers, you pick it up and you eat it in one bite, and then they actually have a guy come by and wipe down your plate with like a napkin to get the residue of the previous sushi off of it, so they can get you your next sushi completely uninfluenced by your previous piece. And just piece after piece after piece of this gloriously delicious sushi. Did I get my money's worth? Yes. Will I do it again? Probably. I will save my pennies. I will pinch my pennies so that I can eat at this sushi place one more time. It was so good. Just dish after dish after dish of this like amazing sushi and like adjacent kind of stuff. It was so good. Piece after piece after piece. Oh yeah, there was another place I went to earlier. A friend of mine was, yeah, so it's just these amazing and beautiful like arrangements of sushi. Just piece after piece after piece. It was so good. Yeah, but before we went here, actually, oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So sometimes you see sushi that has like the like roe, that like salmon roe put on top, but it's usually like overly salty or whatever, and it doesn't actually taste super great. This stuff, oh my god, it was so good. It like just melt in your mouth. It was like boba, but it was like fish. It was like this amazing like exquisite like seafood flavor. It wasn't too salty either. Oh, it was so good. Just piece after piece after piece, this amazing delicious sushi. I don't even have pictures of all of them actually, because some of them were like so fresh you needed to like eat them right away or something. Like there was like a clam or something that they like literally just cut open and they just slapped it on the rice and like, eat fast, it's like still alive. And I'm like, what do you mean? But apparently that's just how you eat it. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, I actually, it wasn't still alive, but like the muscle was like still like active or something. It was kind of cool. Oh man. And then they finished off the meal with this like green tea. This green tea that was so incredibly good. I have no explanation, but I've never had tea this good before. It was so good, and just something about it capping off the meal was amazing. Amazing. But oh, okay, what we did, yeah, actual authentic green tea. It was so good. But what we did immediately before this is my one friend was like, hey, I want to go to a maid cafe, but instead of a normal maid cafe, let's go to a concept cafe based around the concept of a casino. And I'm like, what? And we went to a casino for fun kind of thing on like the 3rd floor of a building in Akiba that was run by like these maids, and they were just like playing blackjack and millionaire, and there was even a roulette wheel or whatever. Like it was not a real money casino. You would pay an entry fee and be given like Monopoly money, essentially, in the form of like these poker chip kind of things that had the logo of this concept casino. And yeah, they taught us this incredibly simple game. Yeah, it was a maid casino. It was called like Maid Guild or something. Maid Guild Casino, I don't know. But they like taught us how to play Millionaire, I think it is the English name of the game. And we were playing with some just two Japanese dudes who were also at the table, and like the maids were doing their best to like hold a conversation, and we were doing our best to talk back in Japanese, and it was actually a lot of fun. Like I never really would have expected this kind of experience to be like super like my thing, and it probably isn't my thing, but like it was a lot of fun just to like play cards with play like classic 52 card games with just random people in Akiba. It was cool. Yeah, but after we ate sushi, we immediately got together and went back to that karaoke place that we went to previously, with the other group, and we essentially, like, our plane was leaving the next morning, but we were like, nah, we're staying up late and we're doing karaoke. And something about this karaoke place is it's tied to like a hotel chain or something in the area that's known for what is known as urban resorts. They are essentially just like a nice hotel with like a spa and a pool and like recreational facilities right in Akiba. Like, apparently it's a resort you could stay at. But what's interesting is one of the recreational facilities is a bakery that is famous for something known as honey toast. And essentially what it is a cube-shaped loaf of bread that has been sliced up in a particular way, buttered and like very lightly toasted and covered with honey and some kind of fruit and cream and stuff like that. And this resort also has a karaoke, like the karaoke parlor we went to is affiliated with the resort in such a way that if you ordered this dessert, they actually would deliver it to you right to your karaoke room. So let's see, is this a good picture? Yeah, that should work. No one's in this shot. All right, so that's the thing. It's this like this loaf of sweet bread filled with like it's buttered on the inside, slathered in honey, and covered with like cream and strawberries with like a ball of chocolate, like hot chocolate fudge on top. Oh, it was so good, and I ate like half of it myself. Believe it or not, I lost weight on this trip to Japan. But yeah, no, there's just so much walking. You get so much exercise. Like, a walkable city is just so cool. You could stay healthy, even eating all these things that are terrible for you. But like, yeah, this was that dessert. It was delivered straight to our karaoke parlor, and you could even see like the console behind it where it's like listing what song was being performed. I think we were singing "Stay With Me" at the time, and we all knew the lyrics, so it was kind of cool. Kind of. Yeah. Super cool. Oh wait, yeah, there's a picture of the toast mid like destruction where we're like tearing it apart. Like just sliced bits of it off, and oh, it was so good. It was so good. Apparently the strawberry is a yeah, such a good song. The strawberry flavor is like an exclusive to the karaoke parlor or something. I don't know. It was really good. Yeah, so we made our way back to Saitama. Yeah, and then I kind of just got in the plane the next day and rode back. It's not much more to say about it. I got defeated by a hard Sudoku puzzle on the a hard Sudoku puzzle in one of the magazines on the plane back. I took a picture of it though, so I will be back to defeat it. I will be back to defeat it, but I did not complete it in the plane ride, unfortunately. But it's not like that was the only thing I did. Yeah, but that was pretty much my entire trip. Oh, let me explain the thumbnail, right? If you're watching on Twitch, you probably don't see the thumbnail, but yeah, actually, everyone follow me on Twitter so you could see when I start streaming. You don't have to. But if you follow me on YouTube, you get to see my thumbnails. The thumbnail is like me looking like weirdly serious and upset with some Japanese text next to it. I think it is egote. Shoot, I actually forgot what it says. Let me actually bring up the picture itself. Let me see where I put that picture. Yeah, it is a reference to an advertisement that was all over the like trains. Let me see. Apparently it's like an English academy or something that's known for having like a special 2-month course. Yeah, what is it? Ego te do kangaete mo hitsuyo desho or something. It pretty much just means like, hey, Don't you realize that English is necessary? It's just, it has this very serious looking dude who's, I think is like a celebrity or something, just looking at you, like it looks like you've committed a murder, and he is staring daggers at you, and he's just looking at you, and it just is, the text is like, hey, you're nothing if you don't know English. And I'm like, oh, good thing I know English, right? But oh no, I'm actually not an vtuber, I'm sorry. Anyway, it just, I saw this everywhere, and I'm like, it is so ridiculous. I have to make this my, like, coming back, my coming back thumbnail. But yeah, that's, I have one final thing to show you guys, right? So yeah, that was pretty much my trip. My next trip to Japan, like, if I learned anything from this trip, it is, damn, it is super hot. It's super hot. If you go in the summer, you better be prepared for it. Things close early as usual, but I knew that. It is worth shelling out extra cash to be closer to a train station. Sure, maybe you can put up with small rooms and shared facilities, but by God, especially when it's this hot, you don't want to be walking, like, you don't want 30 minutes of your day just dedicated entirely to, like, walking from your hotel to the station. Like, it's just really tiring too. Like, with a shorter walk, I probably would have been like more energetic and ready to do stuff. Oh, Vakia, thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh, I closed it down when I was looking at the pictures again. My bad. Anyhow, I have one final thing to show you guys. It has nothing to do, actually nothing to do with my trip to Japan. Will I be going back anytime soon? Maybe. If I ever disappear for like an extended period of time, it's probably just me on a trip. But to Japan, most likely. But here's what I want to show you. Oops, hold on a second. Why are you doing that? Look at that. Emotes are in progress. Nyanako Arts, I believe, is the person who worked with Uma to design his logo. Yeah, emotes are coming. Twitch emotes are coming. This is a set of 3. I think I'm getting six in total, because I think the first set of emotes you get from Twitch is a set of 5. Yeah, but yeah, these are the works in progress. Yeah, I don't really have that much of a rush, but I just want to let you guys know that I have been working in the background, getting these stuff put together. So hopefully we can have some nice emotes on Twitch and YouTube whenever I unlock that ability, way further down the line. But yeah, yeah, I think the ones that were, yeah, this is the hype, the heart, and the despair. Hype, heart, and despair, I think. Ah, man, I really like how they did my eyebrows. Those like Moogie eyebrows, like from K-On! Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, but it's a work in progress, and I'll have the actual things ready. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Jellybean eyebrows, I love them so much. They're so cute. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it for now. Yeah, I'm gonna be back to the gaming relatively soon, hopefully. Let's see. Tomorrow it's gonna be Somnium Files. We're gonna get back to that. I think I left off at a pretty good point last time, so that will give me a pretty good stepping stone to get right back into it. I finished 2 of the routes, I think. Yeah, today would have been Neon White, but that's okay. I did want to talk a little bit about my trip. What else? Saturday, finally starting Dark Souls 2. Finally time to restart that. I am not going to do very much looking into it officially, but I am going to talk to friends about viabilities of different builds, just so I don't need to fall into like a cheese build again, like how I did with both Demon Souls and Dark Souls. My goal is to actually get good. I don't want to rely on cheese strats the entire way. But if I do find them on my own, I will use them. But I'm just trying to set myself up to be more ready for success without cheese, I suppose. And I'm actually busy this weekend. I've picked up so much cool stuff, like so many cool projects to work on, and I want to make sure that I have time for everything. Yeah, so, oh man, in terms of other games I want to play soon, like, the games I'm currently playing, of course, I want to finish. But, man, the Pokemon DLC is coming out soon. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk has been out for a little bit. Armored Core looks super hype. Oh, man. Well, either way, I'm getting back into the gaming. Hopefully my normal schedule, or at least a semblance of my normal schedule moving forward. There will be some days here and there where I'm not going to be able to... Yeah, where I'm just going to be working on projects and working on cool stuff. Yeah. But yeah, everyone follow Sele Astraea on Twitter and on Twitch. Get ready for his debut. I'm so excited for that. Soon, I hope. Soon? Question mark? TM? Anyhow, thank you all for joining as I told you my stories of travels abroad, and I'll be back someday for sure. But for now, we're back to the daily grind. Cool. Yeah, plenty of exciting stuff on the horizon. Yeah, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it a lot. As always, until we meet again, see you all soon. Oh, my mic is on. I am gonna eat so much food. Oh shoot, should I raid someone? Let's see. It was just chatting.